toaster.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
You lied and I died!
I feel a rosy air.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
How's it hanging, Phil?
Come and get it! So either put the gun down now, or kiss your ass goodbye. Let's get this party started.
I agree, Dana. Let's get this party started. Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And we are Sledgehammer Horror. And as always, today we are joined by two amazing content creators that I am so glad to not only call content creators that we've worked with, but friends that I talk to on a regular basis. We have the amazing Dice Rollen. Dice, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. We're still above ground.
For now.
For now.
Ooh. We'll see. Give it an hour. We'll see.
Yeah, no kidding.
And my dude Bobby likes it spooky. Bobby, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing excellent. I'm excited to talk about this. It's pretty much at the end of the year, so why not talk about our scariest horror movies?
Yes. And I do got to say something I want to make clear right now. Horror is the most subjective genre there is. So what may be scary to me may not be scary to Dice or Bobby or people in the comments. And because of personal experience, the things that may have scared us may seem silly to other people, but these
He's
lists
just saying it because he's got some doozies
I
on
do.
his list. You're gonna get made fun of.
Self-preservation.
Be like, really? That you're scared of that?
but I do want to say that these lists, at least for me, I don't know Ashley's list, I don't know Dice list, I don't know Bobby's list, as always, but for me, I want to say my list is completely 100% genuine. Every movie on my list, in one way or another, scared the living hell out of me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. But before we get started, for people that don't know, that may have missed you guys on the channel at some point in the past, Dice, can you tell everybody a little bit about what you do over on your channel?
Chaos. I do
Kick a
horror,
bunch
of
of
course.
ass.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really. I do horror, of course. That's kind of a given. But I tend to do movie reviews, let's plays, which I'm moving to a different channel now. So don't panic. Countdowns, all sorts of stuff. Really, all around horror.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
And we love having you here whenever we get the chance. So much so that you'll be back with us next week. But we'll talk about that towards the end. Bobby, can you tell people a little bit about what you do over at Bobby Likes It Spooky?
Sure. Pretty much the same. I do some horror movie reviews. This past, I didn't really do anything this month, but this past October, I reviewed all the Halloween movies with some special guests, and I had you guys on talking Halloween H2O, which was a fun as time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just like to have a good time on my channel, talk about horror movies, sometimes different topics, and if I get a chance to interview some cool and interesting folks, I'll do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And again, anytime I get the chance to work with you guys, whether it's on our platform or yours, it's always an amazing time. So before we actually get started on our list, I do want to go through the chat real quick. It's time to crack a beer and enjoy another live with Sledgehammers.
Yeah.
I got a coffee cracked. How about that? Thanks for joining us, Louie. We got Shaim here.
Hey, Shane.
Nathan, as
Hey,
always.
Nathan.
Ready for some awesome people. We appreciate that. The Ring, and you guys all know, Charles, you're a G. Every single week, it's the same thing, man. We appreciate you. I think you just want to hear the song every week, Charles, so I'm going to give it to you, buddy.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
Thanks, buddy. And I could tell you that is not the only time we're going to talk about The Ring today.
I can tell that too.
Daniel,
Hey,
nice to
Daniel.
see you. Oh, hey, Dice Rollen's here in the chat. Dice, how you doing?
Some amazing work right there. Please support us.
Hey, I had a great Thanksgiving. We were able to go see my mother-in-law, Ashley's mother. We were able to take a couple-hour trip up to see her and spend some time with her. It was pretty amazing. What about you? You fine people? How were your Thanksgiving?
Quiet, chill.
Same.
I mean,
smoking turkey. Oh, on purpose.
Sounds lovely.
Right.
Right.
Turkey, ham, food, parade, all that.
All the fun stuff.
Mhm.
How is quiet like?
Yeah, no, I
Do you
just want to
like-
know.
yeah, like, is it
what does that feel
good?
like?
Well, sometimes it's all right. Other times we don't know how to process that. So I'm kind of in my room going, something's wrong.
Bobby, I just realized, are you wearing a Misfits shirt?
I am. So don't kill me, everybody. But this was a gift, and I'm just like, I heard a couple songs, but it's I'll show it to y'all. It looks like that.
That's a badass shirt, dude. I grew up with the
Yeah.
Misfits, so I see it and I'm like, dude, that's so dope.
So I have to get into some of their music since I'm wearing one. So
Yeah, you son of a
you're
bitch.
understood.
Hey, and it's nice to see you, Robin. I'm glad to see you
Hey,
around.
Robin.
Daniel, time for the ultimate top 10. I hope you guys have some fun with this one.
/12.
Yeah, /12 for us. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Nice to
Hey.
see you. The Gordonite. How you doing?
Hey.
Oh, Mika and Kira.
Hey.
All right. Sean, the scariest movie is Black Christmas for how bad it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Won't be on for long, so I'm in England and I need sleep. Yeah, you got to take Ziggy Pup out for the morning. But yes, we will be with Haunted Hippie tomorrow, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, to give our dissection of Chucky Season 2. And boy, do we have some opinions on that. So tomorrow on Haunted Hippie's channel at noon, 3 Eastern. Check us out there. Sledgehammer's time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. Yes, Loki got a Sledgehammer horror hat and beanie. All our
that's
merchandise.
awesome.
You guys can get the merchandise now. The Sledgehammer horror store is open. So make sure you're checking that out because we like money. And our kids like to eat is one of the side effects. I just wanted the fucking dishwasher. We had kids instead, and now we got to feed them and shit. It's bullshit.
Really? Joke
Buy a
funny.
beanie, feed a child.
Right. That's what we should have had on our shirts. Buy a beanie, feed a child.
There we go.
Still scares me to this day or creeps me out on a deep psychological level.
Mm.
I can tell you. Bambi and Showgirls. Absolutely right. Yeah, please, guys, don't forget to roundhouse kick that like button. Oh my gosh. Yes, I am so excited for Cocaine Bear. Like, have you guys seen this trailer?
I have,
Portions.
Oh my. I am so excited for Cocaine Bear.
It looks wild.
Yes, it does. Ken's number 1, The Dark and the Wicked. Maybe. Possibly.
He thinks he knows you
Yeah,
so
you
well.
think you know me so well. Hey, Michael. Yeah, I agree with you, buddy.
Hey.
Let's get scary. All right. What's going on?
Hi.
What's up, guys? Busta Rhymes, Kung Fu, kick the like button. I agree. Good evening, Nene. All right, guys. So we will get started here, and I want to say, I'm gonna do a quick flash. Pow! See all that scribbling on there? Because I had to totally redo my list.
Even if you would have left it up, no one would have been
right.
able to read that.
So I want to say my 2 honorable mentions are both from this year. The first one is going to be Smile. Now, I know a lot of people didn't dig Smile. This movie scared the hell out of me. I went into this movie looking for a Truth or Dare-esque, goofy, scary type thing. Didn't get that at all. I was filled with anxiety. I was filled with dread throughout the whole damn movie. Not many jump scares, but it was more just like unsettling scares for me. And the couple jump scares they had, like the one at the computer, it was good. It was well paced, well timed, and the movie genuinely scared the hell out of me.
They were just like sprinkle it, like you were on the edge of your seat, and then sometimes you would get it, and then sometimes you wouldn't. Like they just kept like like,
piling on
piling it
the
on.
tension and the
Yeah.
terror. So Smile, and then the reason I had to scribble is because Ashley and I just finished a movie that we were sent to a screener to, so we can review it. Watch for that review next weekend. And it is a movie called The Harbinger from 2022. Now, it's scary to think about dying. But what's scarier to think about is an entity coming to you, torturing you, enveloping you, and then erasing you. So it's like you never existed. So the people that loved you, the people that depended on you, the people that need you, you are now completely gone and wiped out from existence, like you had never even been born. And that's what this movie, The Harbinger, is about. Ashley and I, like I said, we'll have a review up on it next weekend on the channel. We were lucky enough to see that today. And I haven't stopped thinking about this movie since we watched it. Just the ideas that they put into this movie and the way that it like I said, the thought of being erased to me, the thought of dying to me isn't so bad anymore because I'll get to kick it with my mom again. And she was pretty damn dope. But the thought of being erased, of never being there for my children, for never have been there for any of my friends that I was able to help along the way, or that scares me. So this movie has really resonated with me, and it's been pumping around in my chest since we watched it. So I had to rearrange the list real quick. I give it time to simmer. This may move up the list by the time we do this again in the future on a re-rank, but for now, it's an honorable mention along with Smile.
Okay. So I went the totally opposite with my honorable mentions. These are from like when I was a kid, like the impact that they had on me. So my first one is Halloween 1978.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Really? Did I say for fuck's sake about yours?
Time that. How long did it take?
Yeah, exactly. Michael scared, like, still, I think he's a scary guy. Like, he's a man that's stalking you for no reason at all. He just wants to kill. And that scared me. And then I have Texas Chainsaw Massacre also. That scared the shit out of me. Like the Sawyer family.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, they freaked me the hell out. We live in a small town, and when we would go through to get to like the city or whatever, you kind of go through towns like that, and it's always like this looks like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Fucking Leatherface is gonna be wearing my face.
We live in
pretty
Texas
much. We pretty much
Massacre.
do. So that kind of hits home, when your surroundings are the same. And like just some of the scares, like it's not that you see them, or some of the scares, some of the kills, like you don't see them necessarily. You see like what happens afterward, like the twitching and stuff. And that, I think that's more effective than actually watching the kill itself. So,
nothing more scary than your imagination.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my two honorable mentions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So how about you, Dice?
I have two. And these are actually two that are from my childhood. One probably seems familiar, and that's Gremlins.
Okay.
Gremlins freaked me out as a kid, as I mentioned. Plug on the time that you had me on for my first horror movie.
There's something very familiar about this.
Yes, I don't. It rings a bell. But it freaked me out because once again, I couldn't, at that age, maybe 8, I couldn't quite articulate the mix of comedy and horror.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't keep up with that quite quick enough. That and the story that Kate tells kind of freaked me out. Wasn't sure how to deal with the Christmas element of that as well. Thank you. And the other one is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes.
The concept of some weird looking motherfuckers coming down and taking over, and there ain't shit you can do about it. You're gonna end up in a cotton candy cocoon. Yeah, sleep well, kids. Okay. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. That's a great choice.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think about how much that one affected me as a child. So how about you, Bobby? What are your honorable mentions?
Dice, I will also have to say Killer Clowns from Outer Space as well. That one, I still have weird reoccurring nightmares, and I'm no longer scared of that movie, but for some reason, it's a particular gene that I always keep having that's reoccurring. So, yeah, I'm gonna throw that in here. So one of mine is Poltergeist. When I was a kid, I was terrified of Poltergeist. It scared me to death because, magical door open up and suck you into another world and you're stuck inside a TV or another dimension or whatever. And it wasn't just even that, it was just the entities and stuff popping up everywhere. It was just scary.
Mm-hmm.
And another one was The Grudge. The Grudge, just knowing that you can't defeat this entity, or even just no matter what you do, it's always going to be there. No matter what, you can't get away from it. It's fate. You're gonna go.
Yeah.
So that thing, that movie scared the hell out of me, and I think it came out when I was in high school, the American version. And yeah, to this day, when I watch, I still get, the heebie-jeebies.
Dude, and let's just talk about just for a second the fact in that movie when the the jaws ripped off and the tongues. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm totally with you. All right, guys. Well, before we actually get to our top 10 now, we'll catch up on the chat. Creepy Cody, we are all well because we are all together with you. So we're glad you could be here. My honorable mentions are It Follows, Jaws, and Jeepers Creepers. Very good choices. Smile was awesome and creepy to me. Not seen Smile. A tight budget rules on me buying it unless it goes to streaming, which I think. Yes, it is on Paramount Plus right now. Smile is on Paramount Plus. So.
Oh, is it getting a
Yes, it has a physical
It's
release.
getting a
Yes,
physical release?
yes, and we will be getting that. Sup, nerd? The Exorcist, Insidious, The Conjuring, and Malignant. Malignant's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is
Cody
good.
has also seen The Harbinger. Pretty creepy. I'm glad you think so. I loved it. I was just haunted by a ghost while in the shower. That sounds like the
That's
start of
the
a scary
worst.
movie.
You might
Not
want
in
to
the
call
shower.
someone.
My number 10, Home is Where the Haunt Is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the lead in that movie is
He's aight.
he's so good looking and intelligent and smart and funny, and he's almost carved out of like marble is what it looks like without his shirt on. It's just what I'm
Interview him sometime.
just rumor.
Get maybe a nice little autograph. I think that'd be lovely.
Snooze Fest 78. Come on, Ashley.
I knew.
Everyone's afraid of William Shatner to some degree. It's fine.
Right. Technically speaking, just talking about the Harbinger just makes the entity even stronger. Very, very true, because that's how it spreads, and I just spread it to all of you.
Oh, damn it.
Way to go. Way to go.
I know, dickhead. Our honorable mentions would be You Won't Be Alone and You Are Not My Mother. I haven't seen either one of those. But I am writing them down right now because I would like to see them. And if you guys are recommending them, we will watch them. The further you go down south, the more you realize how much bad stuff can get away with people down there. There's your Texas Chainsaw for you right there.
For sure.
Oh my gosh, The Changeling. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I know it's cliche now, but the ball down the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
such a scary moment when you're young. Like that was, oh gosh. Gremlins is a classic Christmas horror. Yes, it is.
For sure.
Totally is. Honorable mention, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. All the cult scenes freaked me the F out as a kid, especially when they ripped the heart out. So scary. So that was on, we did our top 10 scary moments from non-horror movies, and that was on my list. Was that, the ripping the heart out scene scared the hell out of me as a kid. The bird from The Bug's Life always terrified me more than any horror movie. Something I want to say real quick. We made this strictly horror movies. If this was the top 10 movies that scared us, my number one would be The Truman Show. The Truman Show literally ruined my life as a teenager. I thought that was me. I thought that everybody was watching me, and like that movie seriously completely ruined me as a teenager. So we did horror movies. So I just want to say that. The Grudge is a good one, Bobby. Honorable mention, Troll 2 and The Grudge.
Oh god, Troll 2.
Hatching 2022. Oh, After Midnight. Robin, that movie is so good. You didn't really like After Midnight that much, did you? The werewolf one, or the monster one where there's a monster outside and his wife left him.
I felt like it was a very slow burn for sure.
So good.
Was.
Yeah.
And then The Last Shift, the one where the girls, the female cop is alone in the police station.
That one, yeah.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
We just rewatched that one not that long ago. Even though I wasn't a fan of Smile, I agree it's probably the scariest film of 2022. It's filled with tension and effective scares.
That psychological horror will get you thinking.
Yes. Yes. The Truman Show is a mindfuck to this day. Yes. In the Truman Show, just the part where they're talking to him in his ear and he's like, and the last thing I would ever do is lie to you. And it's his best friend. Like, oh God, so scary. Ashton, better late than never, my friend, because you are about to hear Ashley start with her number 10. What's your number 10, babe?
So my number 10 is The Exorcist. And honestly, it probably is the scariest movie ever made. Like, it had people fainting, it had people vomiting. It was like causing this mass terror for people. And it's not like there wasn't a lot of jump scares, but you just watch this little girl say like this off the wall shit, and like you think maybe she's like got this mental illness, but she's possessed by this demon, and then you get like flashes of the demon, like that subliminal flashes.
The Pazuzus.
The Pazuzu, yeah, it freaked me the hell out. Like, you know, this little girl, her head twisting around, and she's saying just this crazy shit, and yeah, it scared the hell out of me.
I'm shocked that movie
it's
is
so low.
Yes,
I knew you were gonna say it. I knew it.
I'm sorry. I do want to say real quick. Usually I catch up on the chat when we're in between lists, but Jeanette, this is my first live. Thank you so much for stopping out. We're glad you're here. If you have movies that scared you, Jeanette, throw them on the list as well. We'd love to read them. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for stopping in. We hope you have a great time. We hope we don't disappoint you. Sorry. So Dice, would you like to give us your number 10?
Oh, certainly. I want to see how many people know about this one. One Dark Night from 1982.
One Dark Night.
I didn't think so. Allow me to explain.
Okay.
Essentially, it takes place in a mausoleum. And I have to say that I used to have quite a large and active phobia when it comes to zombies. But this movie is not about zombies. It comes very close. And this is one of the few times where a rotting corpse has actually made me go, okay. It has Jennifer Tilly's younger sister, Meg Tilly, in it.
Yeah.
And I was recently gifted it by one of my dear followers, DMC Campbell. And I'm glad he did, because once again, it's one that not many people know about. But that scene, there's a scene towards the climax that involves telekinesis and a lot of dead bodies of varying kinds just floating. Their feet are not touching the ground. Okay, picture this. The toes are dragging along the floor as they're coming towards the victims. I went, okay, hold on. Wait.
Right.
So,
oh my gosh.
If you haven't seen it, I would recommend checking it out. It's not brilliant, but you know, it's interesting.
Okay.
Add into the list.
That what I just did. A lot of these movies that are on my list, they might not be Oscar award-winning movies, but that's not why I watch them. I watch them to be scared, and a lot of the movies on my list obviously stuck with me for this long. So, how about you, Bobby? What's your number 10?
My number 10 is It, 1990 miniseries. I was just on a podcast talking about this movie. This was the movie that scarred me for life, I should say. Tim Curry did such an amazing job playing Pennywise, and even though I do love Bill Skarsgård version in 2017, Tim Curry and just the original, just nobody can top that performance at all. And I had countless nightmares with that movie as well. I don't like clowns, and just multiple scenes. In one particular, when Eddie's in the bathroom, when he had the shower and Pennywise just come out the drain. Nope. That got me out of here.
You're like, I never showered again at school.
Nope.
Check every drain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Start poking shit down the drain. You know, just make sure.
That's the reason I quit showering.
We know why you don't shower.
Yeah. It was number 10 because I still get chills watching that movie and thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
I just want to throw this out there really quick. I also love Bill Skarsgård's performance, but as a child, if I looked at Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise, I'd have ran the other way. Tim Curry is the more approachable. I feel like he's scarier because he's more approachable. Yes. He looks like just your regular run-of-the-mill clown, you know, and he's funny. You know, he does all the funny shit, you know. So
right.
I just feel like that portrayal of him as the beauty on the outside, evil on the inside, like a John Wayne Gacy. I felt like that, you know, Tim Curry's portrayal was perfect for what they were going for in that situation.
I keep seeing things about Welcome to Derry.
Yeah. I think that's going to be dope.
I wonder if Bill Skarsgård is going to be in
I don't know.
I haven't heard that either, but I would like for him to be. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My number 10 is one that we're going back to my childhood here, and this one scared me so bad because one, I'm afraid of bees. And two, everybody looked in their mirror and talked about the Candyman and tried to summon that motherfucker to their house. Whether it was the parking garage, you know, Helen, and then her just hypnotized by, you know, be my victim, or when you see the scene that really got me as a young boy was the scene with the young man in the bathroom. They got his dick cut off, and
Yeah.
it shows him laying there in the puddle of blood with his dick cut off. And I was like, oh my God, I like that thing. I don't want to lose that. He's my buddy. Like I pee from that thing.
That's
So, like,
important. huh?
Yes.
Yes.
So like the idea, and then seeing him, and obviously it's all practical. Tony Todd, the God among men, had those bees in his mouth
Yes.
coming out on his
Yes.
face, and it was just something that completely ruined me as a child watching this film. And
It scared me when he opened his
Yeah,
that, and you
yes.
just see
Oh, yeah.
that freaked me the hell out when I was a kid.
to the point where Ashley and I took a trip to Chicago to film a movie that we were in, and we literally made a stop by Cabrini Green just so we could check it out and like be in that area. And even though they've like painted over everything and it's all different now, you can still feel that fear when I was standing in front of that church. I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is where it was. This is where it happened. So number 10 for me is going to be the OG Candyman. So
Okay.
real quick, we will catch up on the chat before we get into our number 9s. The Twilight Zone episode with the talking Tina doll. Somebody was just telling me about that the other day, and I was like, I've never seen that. I need to check that out. The Entity is really scary. Haven't seen that one.
I recently watched that one.
So the Entity, I have to write that. Gosh, we're gonna have a lot to watch.
With Barbara Hershey, I believe.
Okay.
I believe.
Kiefer Sutherland is in the mirrors. I've seen that once. I don't remember much about it, but I remember it was a very good movie. The Entity 1983. Under a different account because for some reason the live chat doesn't show up on my tablet. Oh, the fact that you're here means the world to us, Jeanette. I really hope you have a good time. I know you said this is your first live, so for people that are here for the first time, if you haven't, please subscribe. And if you haven't, my friends here, Dice and Bobby, their links are down in the description. So make sure you subscribe to them as well, because you're going to get some killer fucking content from these amazing people as well. The Blob, 1988, the Blob remake. Good choice.
Yes.
Ooh, Misery. What a good choice. What a good choice. I love Misery. Man, Ashton, the fact you're here means a lot to us, man. Honestly, thank you. The bathroom scene with the sister and her reflection. Well, I need to watch Mirrors again because I like Kiefer Sutherland, so I would like to give that another chance.
Yeah.
OG Children of the Corn. We're us too.
For real. Yeah. I remember running past cornfields as a child, like,
He wants you too, Malachi.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
All ginger children were very afraid.
Yes, man. What a good. I love the OG Children of the Corn. Don't watch the remake. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is.
It was bad.
It's cringe.
It's so cringe. A bunch of kids having sex. And,
yeah,
God, it
it's
was
not,
weird. I couldn't handle it.
It's not okay.
Yeah, Bobby. That's the face we made too. I was
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't. We weren't
Right.
good on our high five.
We're thrown off by what we were watching.
That's
The
true.
Ring, The Grudge. Both feel similar, but are scarily different, and it still creeps the shit out of me.
Yes, I agree.
Manzana Roja. The Descent.
Ooh.
We will talk about that movie again.
That
I
that movie
promise.
gave me really bad anxiety for
Yes.
sure. Those freaking monsters.
The monsters aren't even what scared me in that movie, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Thank you for joining the chat.
I and like crawling in those little spaces. Oh no, thank you.
Cabin Fever. Anything to do with flesh-eating viruses, stay the fuck away from me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially the end, how he ends up in the river. Oh,
Oh yeah.
Their skin's all
Oh.
bubbling.
One Dark Night is on Tubi at the moment.
Oh okay.
Thank
nice,
you.
thank you.
Our number 10 is The Descent.
Yes.
Jack Nicholson's Joker. Oh my gosh. Yes, Bobby.
Mm.
Again, that was my number 2 on our top 10 scariest scenes from non-horror movies. After the Joker falls off the building and they're doing that pan shot down and it's spinning and it's
Oh,
just the
yeah.
laugh box, the ha 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 ha. Oh, dude, hell no. I was out. Like that got me. Great choice, Bobby.
Mhm.
Cat People. Yes. That's a great movie.
Cat people.
Yes. Tim Curry was perfect. Absolutely. My number 10, Jaws. I cannot handle water or its little friends. That's fair enough.
Seriously, when
agree.
like stuff like that sticks with you and you're like in the ocean, you're like, Jaws isn't here. I know it.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Our favorite Twilight. Maybe it was us that were talking about the Talking Tina, Mika and Kira. I mean, maybe it was you guys that told me about it. Somebody just told me about that movie or about that episode.
Do you remember the
Howling Man.
Goosebumps episode with the dad that was like a plant and
Yes, the out of
Yes.
the plant? Oh,
Stay out
that
of
one
basement.
scared the shit out of me.
Stay out of the basement. Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Twilight Zone, The Howling Man, Eden Lake. Those kids are scary. I don't like kids. Me neither.
Yeah.
And I got 3 of them. I still don't like motherfuckers. Dice, you want to start us off with your number 9?
Oh, sure. The Blair Witch Project, the original.
Yeah.
The reason for this, I've watched it, I reviewed it now, and of course, I don't see it as quite as scary as perhaps it once was.
Mhm.
But I happened to catch, when I was younger, I happened to catch just a little bit of it on TV. And it was, of course, during the very end, you know, she's screaming bloody murder, goes down into the basement, and finds her friend facing the corner. And, you know, as it goes, as we know how it ends. And
Yeah.
that freaked me out. That was what was ingrained in my mind up until the point where I actually did watch it and remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the alternate endings to that film?
No, not yet, but I have heard of them.
There's alternate endings. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Yes, there's 4 different alternate endings. One of them, you
Okay.
see the monster, you see the witch in one of them. And honestly, like, I think that they're fun. The alternate endings are fun. They definitely chose. Sometimes you watch an alternate ending, you're like, wow, that was so much better. They chose the right ending. Like, some of the other ones are
Okay.
Pet
fun.
Cemetery 2019.
Oh, Pet Cemetery 2019 totally chose
Oh,
the
yeah.
wrong ending.
They totally did.
Totally
Yeah.
chose the wrong ending.
I agree.
But
That's the reason I hate it so much.
yeah. So how about you, Bobby? What's your number 9?
Okay, so this is one of my goofy ones, but listen, I remember watching this and I was just like, hold up, nope. So this one, I think it was in 2007, 30 Days of Night, the vampires when they're all in I think in Antarctica.
Mhm.
That movie, listen, even though I was about like 19, 20 when that movie came out, it's just something about being in the cold, nowhere to go, and these things are just like looking for you and feasting on you. And those vampires are vicious. They're quick, they're fast, their mouths stretch all the way back to here. It just and I love me some vampires. I have some favorite vampires, but it's just something about that movie when I watch it. It's very dreadful, it's very dark, and a lot of the scenes, well, it's a couple of scenes on there that is pretty disturbing to me. So 30 Days of Night is my number 9. Every time I watch it, again, that's another one that just gives me the chills. And I watch it every time around the winter time just because I feel like it fits perfectly watching it during the winter.
Nice.
And it's hard with vampire movies. It's often hard to one up what's already been done, you know. But like you said, with these ones, they don't want. Some of them, they don't want to just suck your blood and turn you into a vampire. They just want to eat you.
Yeah.
Period. That's all they want. So, yeah, I can definitely understand why you're going with that one as one of your choices. My number 9, I want to say first and foremost, this movie was not made for me. I'm going to say that right off the top, right off the bat. I understand that. I respect that. My number 9 is Get Out. And now the reason why I'm going to say that this, to me, I talked earlier about The Harbinger and the idea of being completely erased. That scares me. The idea of the sunken place scares the living shit out of me. Being inside my body and being able to see out and watch things, but not be able to control or have any type of impact on what is happening with my body, being trapped in there. And the way the performance by Daniel Kaluuya, the sink, and he's crying, thinking about what happened to his mother, which obviously hit me pretty hard too. And I did nothing. I sat there and I could have helped if I would have went and got somebody, maybe, and he's reliving these moments and she's stirring that coffee cup and it's annoying the shit, or the teacup, I'm sorry, and annoying the shit out of you, and then just sink, ding, ding. And and you watch him and she looks in and she's talking to him through that window. And I think that, again, I respect that Get Out was not made for me. I respect that. It doesn't mean the movie didn't impact me. And that movie's a piece of art. It's one of the most original, scary horror movies made in the 2000s. And It's one of the movies I think will stand the test of time and be taught in classes 50 years from now when they want to talk about how to make a proper horror movie with a great message. They'll show that movie in classes. This is what you want to do. If you want to be a director, you follow what they did here. If you want to make a good piece of art that's going to stand the test of time, this is it. Because it's a movie that makes you think. It's a movie that scares the shit out of you. It's got TS motherfucking A, so you laugh a little bit. I'm telling you, Rod, when he's on the phone, he's like, this bitch. Oh, I got you, bitch.
You need him, though, for that comical relief.
Man.
Like,
best friend in horror, yes.
Yeah.
And that's another movie with an alternate ending that will break you into pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
happy they
that
went with the
alternate-
theatrical version.
Yeah,
me
me
too.
too.
Me too. Because
Yeah.
watching that.
I mean, honestly, that's the ending that I thought was gonna happen. Was the alternate?
Was the
ending.
alternate.
That's
Totally
I think
what
that's
we
what
thought.
everybody's mind went. But yeah, I'm glad that he went with the one.
Oh, it broke me,
Yeah.
man. Like the alternate ending really hurt my chest. I was like, I'm so glad they didn't do this.
Mhm.
I'm so glad they didn't do this. But yeah, I'll get off that tangent now. Number 9 for me, mainly because of the sunken place, because I feel like that's something that everybody can relate to.
Yeah, just not having control over yourself.
Yes.
That's a horrible.
Absolutely
Yeah.
terrifying. So yeah, Get Out for me at number 9.
Nice. My number 9 is Dead Silence.
Hey.
We watched this when I was in high school. So
Are you talking about the fucking ventriloquist doll movie?
yeah, don't even act like it's not on your list. I know it's on his list. I totally know.
know.
It scared the shit out of him too, because we watched it for the first time. I was still in high school, and we were house sitting for his dad out in the fucking boondocks, nobody around, dark as hell, and I was all scared, and he was like, let's play. I think we played the South Park game on PlayStation to like get our mind like out of it.
I acted scared for you.
You're supposed to act brave for me.
Ashley, I'm a ventriloquist dummy. I'm scary.
If it's not on your list, then you're lying. Anyways, Mary Shaw is terrifying. Those dolls are creepy as hell. There's some good actors in that movie, and yeah, that Mary Shaw scared the shit out of me. And like the ending where you obviously I'm not gonna say what happened, but that ending though. Yeah.
I love when Donnie Wahlberg digs up the puppet and he's like, maybe he can ask you, and he's like, why did you bury me?
Yeah.
Donnie's
Donnie's amazing.
funny.
And he's always shaving.
Always shaving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally dies with his
With the razor.
Yeah.
Why did you bury
That's a
me?
good one.
That's
That
such
one that one did scare me too. There was a lot of suspenseful moments in there.
And like the way
Yeah.
you look after she, like, if you scream, you
Yeah.
know, like don't scream. Yeah.
Yeah, beware the stare of Mary Shaw.
That shit scared me.
Mhm.
All right. Well, before we get to our number 8, nope, Dice didn't give it. Yeah, Dice started us off at
Yeah.
number 9. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. Before we get to our number 8, recently watched Black Christmas. Not scared, but those phone calls are so disturbing.
Yes.
I do think that movie's scary. I really do.
The ending.
Ringu,
The ending is scary as hell.
how they leave her alone.
How they leave her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scared me.
Ooh, good choice, Russell. The Babadook, the nonstop screaming kid is the reason I'm never having
God.
kids, only dogs. That kid, man.
So
want to-
yeah, he might be on a list
Big
here
one.
coming up soon.
Yeah, that fucking kid. I don't like the Blair Witch Project, but I respect what the film did.
Yeah.
That's fair. Child's Play 88. Chucky scared me as a child, but I love him to death.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, obviously he's had an impact on me to where that little shit changed my life. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Zebo the Clown. Yes.
Yes. Woo!
And
That one got me out of here too.
Yeah, the vampires
Dead
are
Man's
so menacing
Float.
with 30 Days a Night. Yes. You say Dead Man's
Yeah.
Float?
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
That red thing in the water in the pool.
Uh,
I just want to say, Patrick, I love your Jason Goes to Hell Avatar. That's amazing. Most underrated movie ever.
Is it?
Mario Bava's Black Sabbath segment and The Drop of Water. Ooh,
Mm.
nice. Get Out, great choice. Get Out was a ripoff of Being John Malkovich, if you think about it. Maybe a more horror aspect. But yeah, I could see where they are connected. Get Out is Peele's best film. I really like Nope. I like
I
Nope
did
a
too.
lot. I will throw that out there. I'll see you on Haunted Hippie. Tell Ziggy Pup we said goodnight.
Have a good one.
That's a good one. When Patrick Swayze's when he's in Ghost,
Mhm.
and that one guy on the subway with him, like, oh, that guy's so scary,
Mhm.
man. Like,
Get
I
off
love
my
it.
train.
Yes, dude, so good. I've seen 30 Days of Night once. They are pretty scary. Plus, the location and the weather makes
Yeah.
it worse.
Mhm.
Never seen that.
Hmm.
I'll have to check that out too.
I think it's on Shudder.
Yeah, it is on Shudder.
I believe so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't go the alternate ending on Get
Yeah.
Out as well. Dead Silence. People are agreeing with you. I don't get it. Yes, go. You can watch the alternate ending to Get Out on YouTube. Be ready to have your heart broken. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Spoiler: Ashley, Dead Silence is high on my list.
All right.
What? Number 9, The Wicker Man. Good choice.
The original, right?
Yeah.
Right?
When you have naked ladies.
Doing their little dance. Get it, girl.
And they asked which one, 1973 or the remake.
This is
Mary
important.
Shaw will get you if you scream. I mean, yeah, it's super important. I will say though, in the Wicker Man remake with Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage goes ham the whole time, and I fucking love it. But the scene with the kid under the grate, like under that sewer grate,
Yeah.
really got me. I thought that was a really good jump scare in that movie. Like, the movie's not great by any stretch. It's nothing even compared. That's a whole conversation for another day. I don't hate the Wicker Man remake like everybody else does. That's all I'm gonna say. It's fun for me. Wrong Turn. I don't want to be tortured and eaten.
No.
Very good choice.
You had to drive me home after we.
I did. No, that wasn't. That was
Oh, was it something?
Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't Wrong Turn.
The Last House or the Hills Have Eyes.
Yep.
Ugh, fucking gross.
I live in that area.
Sorry.
Oh.
You don't hear from me for several days. Send help.
Snooze Fest goes to hell. No, and Jeanette, you know what? That's totally fine. Make them up on the go. That's totally
Yeah,
fine.
for sure.
We appreciate the fact that you're here at all. Oh, you didn't like Wrong Turn 2021? I thought it was good. I thought I had fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
enjoyed
just
it.
glad we didn't get to see a bunch of rape. That's where my
Yeah.
mind went.
That was a plus.
So we're up to number 8. Bobby, would you like to give us your number 8?
Sure. My number 8 is Get Out. I had Get Out on my number 8. I had to put it on there. Watching this for the first time. I remember watching the trailer. I didn't know what this movie was going to be about. And then just sitting in the theater and experiencing everything that was going down, I'm just like, wow. And just, me being, a black man and just seeing me, just being taken out of my own body and somebody else is in it. And I'm just watching from, somewhere else. It would be terrifying. I don't want nobody else in here.
Dangerous place.
Yeah.
This is all mine. You don't want this
Right.
craziness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything that Ken said, I wouldn't say better myself. You hit the nail on the head on a lot of things what you said about the movie. But yeah, just me, I'm just putting myself in that in Chris's place in the film, and I would just be fucking terrified. And then that just switched to at the end where you have this girlfriend, and I don't know how long they was together, and all of a sudden she just switched, and
Right.
just seeing her not really caring and being a part of everything, it was kind of heartbreaking as well. So
Yeah.
These hoes ain't loyal.
He had that little glimpse of hope, like maybe she wasn't a part of it. He's like the
Yeah.
keys, and
You know I can't give you these,
And-
right?
and then
Chris?
it just-
and you're just like, no.
Yeah.
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 she is my one of my most top hated characters in horror movies.
Yeah.
Now, after that scene, I strongly dislike her.
Mhm.
Well, what a good segue, because next week I'll have Dyson CP on here with Ashley and I talking about our most hated horror characters. So there's a chance she'll be on here for that.
Listen,
Possibly.
But and like I said, and Bobby, I'm sure that
Or
Get
the
Out,
kid from Bethlehem.
the kid from the Babadook, I'm sure that Get Out affected you in different ways than it did affect me. As a white man, I haven't gone through a lot of the, and I don't want to get too political on here or anything like that, but I'm just glad that you and I, that come from completely different worlds, can look at something like that and still feel that same type of genuine horror. That's what Peele did in that film. And I think that that's so respectable and so awesome that we could watch this together, have two completely different upbringings, and still come to the same fear.
Yes.
That to me shows growth as human beings and love and compassion. So I'm glad that we can have that same type of connection there, man.
yes, 100%.
So my number 8, if you're allergic to peanuts and scared of light poles, this might not be your movie. I am going with Hereditary.
Ooh.
Man, oh man, this movie. The first time we watched it, I had to let it sink in. You know, we're in the first time I watched it, I didn't love it the way I should have because we were in the movie theater and you had a bunch of shithead people going throughout the whole fucking movie.
In the middle of the dark. Keep doing it. I'll find you.
I know. And but when you have Toni Collette banging her head on that wall, on the ceiling, and the son is just like, please, Mom, I'm sorry, just stop. You know, like, oh man. Or when he's in the classroom and it's just slamming his head on that desk, and it's just there's so much about this movie. When the dad is on fire, Hail Payman. It's just there's so
It's never good when dads are on fire.
no. I can agree with that. And
I felt
just
bad
like
for
that.
him. He just wanted to get his family together.
He
Yeah.
didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
He was just trying to keep the peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you have Toni Collette, for anybody that hasn't seen Hereditary, I'm really going to try hard not to spoil. But you need to watch it. It's a great movie. When you have Toni Collette making the discovery in the car and just the gut-wrenching screams, and I want to die, you know, like, and then the dinner table scene, you know, you sit there with that face on your face, and it's just like, oh my God, like, the fact that she didn't get awards for, she should have got awards for years because of that. So,
Toni Collette is the best.
she is the best. She's the best horror mom on the planet. So, number 8 for me, I'm gonna throw out my girl Toni Collette, Hereditary. We just recently met Millie Shapiro, and she is a little sweetheart. She was so kind and so generous with her time. So yeah, that just made me appreciate her performance in the movie even more. So, Millie Shapiro, I give you 5 up. So, love the movie, and it scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
So, number 8, Hereditary.
All right, my number 8 was Sinister. That movie, you guys, why do you look at me like that?
At number 8?
Yeah. I always feel so judged by my list from you.
Because, like, why is it so low? That movie's scary.
So, anyways, the creepy homemade videos by the kids scared the shit out of me. Like the lawnmower one. I know if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. I can rewatch it a million times, and that lawnmower scene will still get me. Like that jump scare. And just how they take like innocent kids and make them evil. Like when you can do that, that scares the shit out of me too. Like kids are supposed to be innocent and they're killing off their families in really bad, horrendous ways.
Yeah.
And Bagul, like the villain, he is creepy looking too. Like he scares me. So
But a snappy
Sinister.
dresser.
He
Yeah,
is. He is very nicely dressed. However, his face, it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is my number 8.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So how about you, Dice? What comes in number 8 for you?
The Witch, 2015.
Ooh, The Vivitch.
Vivitch?
Yes, The Witch. That one, you know, it wasn't necessarily scary in the traditional sense, shall we say, for me. I'm a sucker for witch-oriented things in general, call it biased. But this was very interesting to me because they took so much time to make it as accurate as they possibly could. The concept that you don't know what the hell is going to happen. This could all be hallucinations. This could be real. It's quite creepy, especially with the younger son when he dies. That was creepy. Anything in the woods was a bit unsettling as well. So I guess you could say it had a happy ending, though.
I mean,
depending on who you are, of course.
right. I just wanted to hang out with that goat.
The
That's
goat
all I
seemed
know.
cool.
Black Phillip.
He seemed all right. Black
Goat
Phillip, was that his
seemed,
name?
yeah, he seemed like he could do some nice ASMR, maybe. You know.
Yeah.
I could do a couple shots with him.
Will you sign the book?
oh,
Sure.
Yeah, I'm in.
Why
If
not?
you're gonna go drinking with me, Black Phillip, I'm in. All right, so we will catch up on the chat real quick because Bobby started us off at 8. Last House on the Left, I walked out of theaters. You know what? Like, The Hills Have Eyes. We left during the rape scene. It was a little too much for us, and I still followed her home that night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, like I can't do that shit, man. Like, and that one was way too much. We left. I was like, I can't. I've never watched it. I've never finished that movie.
You might have to
affected me
brace.
then.
You might have to brace yourself a little bit for the entity, just as a forewarning.
Oh, balls.
Okay, just heads up,
Now that I know, thank you.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 74. That's my trigger, man. Like, I can watch pretty much anything, but when you get that graphic, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of rape, Don't Breathe. Totally a rapist.
Yeah, for sure.
Another movie that takes place in the beautiful town of Detroit, but
Yeah,
another
really
one of
selling
those.
on visiting.
It's so beautiful on that movie.
That's what pisses me off, man. Like, Don't Breathe, It Follows, Barbarian. I'm like, yes, they take place in Detroit, and then I'm always like, they all take place fucking south of 8 Mile, man. What the hell? Show real Detroit, please.
Show the nice part.
Yes, damn.
It's not. It doesn't all look like this.
Right. Cujo, great choice. You know what? I slept on this movie for so long because when it came out, 2003, I was what? 20 years old?
Sure.
17?
Yeah.
And man, I was that cynical guy that was like, oh, it's a fucking remake. I'm not even gonna watch this shit. And we watched it, and I was like, man, that movie's fucking dope. It's so good. The part where he has the boyfriend's face on his, oh,
yeah,
that stuck with me. What a great
my
scene.
brother actually had me watch that. Ironically, he was the one who picked it out. I was shocked as hell. But he was rather funny. He's not a horror fan, just to clarify. So I was shocked. And he goes, she's going to live. And I go, why? Because she's wearing a tight white top. She's an A-list actress with a bunch of random people. She's going to live. And I went, okay. You're right. But
he has it figured out.
I'm just going to say, I'm always just going to wear a tight white shirt from now on.
Yeah.
Perfect
right.
idea.
I can't wait to see your review of Children of the Corn on Friday, brother.
Yeah.
I will be there for sure. Black Christmas 06, just for how downright disturbing the film is.
Yeah, that movie messes
I love
with
that
my head.
movie so much. It's so bad, but I don't know. I tweeted about it yesterday. A lot of people don't really care for it, but I enjoy Black Christmas 2006. It's such a crazy ass ride.
Yeah, I could have done without the sister-daughter.
That part. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's where I check out, man. When I see the mom raping the boy, I'm like, I can't fucking do
it's
this
so
shit.
disturbing.
We go in depth on it, and next Friday on our Versus episode of Black Christmas 74 versus 06, you can hear our thoughts about that film. And I just want to say, there's a good chance that there's a very jaundiced-looking Ken Sledge in that video. And it may have taken a little bit of time to paint my face yellow for that video, so you guys better check it out and appreciate it, because that was not fun for me. Number 8, Devil's Backbone.
It wasn't fun for me either. Like, open your eyes.
I know, I
Stop
suck.
squinting.
I suck. Yes, Coraline, the other mother, the other family. We were going to do that for Halloween this year, but it was too much, way too much for us to do. But that's a very good choice. You know what, Patrick? When I was writing this list, I thought of you and I picked Hereditary. I swear I did. Sledgehammer, I'm guessing your number 1 is The Dark and the Wicked. Why does everyone think that they know me so well that that's going to be my number 1? It's not about the destination, guys. It's about the journey. So stay tuned. Hereditary is a great one that will make an appearance on our list. The Prince of Darkness. Now, I'm assuming this is the one with
Alice Cooper, of course.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Why can't I think of his name?
Donald Pleasance?
Yes, Donald Pleasance. Gosh, darn it. Yes, great movie. Great movie. Oh my gosh, that was making me so freaking mad. What is his name in Halloween?
Oh,
Dr. Loomis.
Dr. Loomis, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was really pissing me off. Hereditary is good. Yeah, I'm telling you, Coraline is a great movie. Oh, dude, I'm so glad I didn't spoil it then. Please let me know what you think of Hereditary after you watch it. Toni Collette is awesome. Enough said. Crawl. That was a very good movie.
Yeah.
It was a very good movie. You know what? I do want to say real quick, T. Parker, the visual throughout Coraline, like when you had the flowers blooming and stuff, like, oh, what a beautiful film. What a beautiful, beautiful film. I love Coraline. Sinister wasn't scary to me. Oh, you're not going to like my list the further we go. Scream, just because it's something that can really happen. Hey, Tyrone, what's up, man?
Hey.
Check out Cujo. You will love Cujo. Great film. All right, guys. So The Dark and the Wicked is a worthy number 1. You guys don't even know me. All right, so we are up to number 7, and that will be me starting us off this time. And I told you we would come back and talk about this, The Descent. Wow. I remember watching this for the first time and just the amount of anxiety I was feeling throughout the whole film. And the amount of heartbreak I felt within the first 10 minutes of the film. And this is one of those movies where who's the monster in the movie? You know, like, what is the real danger here? You know, you have infidelity. You have
best friend sleeping with her husband. She is the monster.
And the fact that she has the necklace that says, you know, like, and then you finally do see the monsters, and they are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I resemble that remark, sir. Bale lives in a cave. I resemble that.
And one thing I love about this movie is what you were talking about with the tight spaces.
Oh yeah, like it makes you feel like you can't breathe.
Yes, and it would. Oh my gosh, it's such a great movie. It's so scary, and I fucking hate Juno so much. We may talk about her next week.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
Yeah, she's a bitch. But yeah, I really, really do love The Descent, and it really, really did terrify me the first time I seen it. So I'm gonna say The Descent on there, number 7 for me.
Nice. My number 7 is 1408.
I should have known that was on your list.
Yeah. So we went and seen this on my 18th birthday. And I was literally on the edge of my seat the entire time. I'm pretty sure I jumped. Was that the one where I jumped when the cat meowed? Yeah, I did. I jumped when the cat meowed. Like, that's how on the edge of my seat I was. And there's so many jump scares that got me. And just you think that he's good in the end, but he really isn't. And all the fake outs. And the whole story, his story is sad too. How he lost his daughter.
Oh, we sobbed. You can't take her again.
Yeah, that's so sad. But yeah, that movie, it had my anxiety going the entire time. So I had to mention that on my.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Love it.
So sick.
Love it.
It is metal and it's heavy as hell.
And what I love about that movie is it really is it's a Dante's Inferno, you know, the 7 layers of hell, and how he's going through all 7 layers of hell. And
you think he wins. But you know,
that's another movie where I honestly think the alternate ending was better than the theatrical ending. Both endings are great. Like, in the theatrical ending, you have the tape and you hear the daughter again, and then in the alternate ending, you get him in the backseat of the car. Both great. Samuel L. Jackson, for having such a small part in this movie, is so fucking great, and John Cusack is just so good.
John Cusack is amazing, in pretty much everything he does. But the one scene where he's looking out the window
and the hammer,
that got me too. About poop my pants. Yeah.
Great choice.
Thanks.
So how about you, Dice? What's your number 7?
Oh, my number 7, a classic, I'm sure. An American Werewolf in London.
Nice.
I saw this one because my parents had the collector's edition VHS and they left it unattended. And I have for so I happened to watch that one when I was left alone. I was just watching it for the transformation scene. Obviously, that's what you always hear about is the transformation scene. But there are a lot of really unsettling and scary moments when Jack dies. The transformation, of course, just every appearance of Jack from then on, the care and whatnot, the jump scare of in the woods in the hospital bed. So, yes,
the Nazi werewolf scene.
The Nazi werewolves.
Those are creepy as hell.
Yeah.
You don't expect them to be appearing at the door. Oh my god!
Right.
Right. With Kermit.
Yeah, they were just watching the Muppets. What the fuck?
I know, what the hell?
Oh, that's fucking spectacular. How about you, Bobby? What's your number 7?
My number 7 is The Strangers.
Yes.
The Strangers at number 7. I remember seeing this too in theaters, and this was a wild one for me. I legit almost like shit my pants when we see Liv Tyler, and then you see that one shot behind her, you don't know, and the guy with the burlap just appear out of nowhere. I was like, oh my gosh, everybody, and I'd never forget everybody's reaction to that scene in the theater was just like gasping and just like, oh my gosh. So that one is definitely just a terrifying, and also it's home invasion, and home invasion is a big.
It's so real.
Yeah, it's scary, and I can't imagine going through something like that. That's one of my biggest fears, is somebody breaking in and trying to, kill me or something. So yeah, that's my number 7.
Nice.
Yeah. No, great choice. So we'll catch up on the chat real quick. So Texas 03 was me and my wife's first date.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
That's how
really
you picked
cool.
a winner right there.
Yeah.
Our first date was to Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds. So
it was.
if your first date's to a horror movie, you're going to stay together forever. Please don't hold that against me. Drew Barrymore tricked people and screamed, yeah, there's no way she's going to die. She's a star, but she dies at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, they used her. Like, obviously she was on the cover.
Everything.
She's on the poster. She was doing like the talk show circuits.
And then they kill her off in the
5 minutes.
first 8 minutes. Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
Subversion, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lake Mungo.
It's like they knew what they were doing or something.
I'll tell you this. Number 7, we got Lake Mungo love here. That fucking neighbor.
Oh, both of them, they're despicable.
We'll talk about them next week. If you haven't seen Lake Mungo, the fucking neighbor guy is a fucking piece of shit. The wife's a piece of shit
They
too.
both are, yeah.
But yeah. That rocked me more than anything else, more than the cell phone footage.
Yeah.
More than anything, it was the neighbor that got me the most in that movie. Deep Blue Sea, understood.
Anything like that. Or like what's the one where they go down
47 meters down?
Yeah, that one. I felt like I couldn't breathe the entire time I watched that.
Yeah. 1408, good one, Ashley.
Thank you.
The cave creatures are predictable behavior, but human beings are completely unpredictable. Not to mention the cave creatures are just trying to do what they normally do for survival. You're right. They're not trying to be scary.
Right.
They're just trying to eat. 1408 is a good film. Psycho. Mine are in a particular order, just thinking and listening. Totally fine. We're glad to have you along for the ride, and I'm glad that you're chiming in. We think that's amazing. Wrong Turn 03. The thought of being tortured, brutally killed, and eaten by the humanoid deformed people traumatized me as a kid.
Yeah.
Totally understood. Yeah. James McAvoy's performance. You want to talk about an underrated actor? James McAvoy.
Yeah. He played it was like 23 different personalities, and he nailed that.
And the way that he can flip them.
Yes.
Etc.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So fucking good. 1408, not seen that in years. Love it.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen it in a long time, too, but I love that movie.
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Maybe, Nathan.
Yeah.
Very possible. The Visit. The ending was so good and scary. Stuck with me for years. Love this film so much. I like The Visit.
Yeah. Well, when you get that, the twist part of it, and that's scary.
It just sucks that Shyamalan is known for his twists. So you go into his movies expecting
that there's going to be a twist, but I didn't expect that. So, it still got me.
Yeah, he's still the god when it comes to twists. You know what? I can't get past the CGI in Paris.
Yeah.
I can't. Like, it's just like, because London was such a great practical effect movie, and then Paris was just all CGI. Like, I guess the storyline's not that bad, but I can't get past the CGI.
Hey guys, remember what Rick Baker did? Forget it.
Oh, yeah. 1408 was. Did you read the book?
I did not.
Yeah, we're not nerds, Louis.
All right.
No, I would love to read that book. Honestly,
Yeah.
I would love to.
Oh, it's a short story. It's technically in the book, but
still, if it doesn't have pictures that pop up at me, I am not interested.
This guy's sound out words.
I spit on your grave. I can understand. You know what? And again, rape happens to men too. I understand that. Midsommar is a very good example of a man getting raped, and I know it was played for laughs. It's not funny. Rape is never funny. But I feel like in cinema, especially, you get a lot more of the female side of it, and obviously I can't relate to it personally, but I have friends and family that have gone through it. So that's why I can't do it. I respect people that like rape revenge and, those things. I like the revenge part of it. But movies like I Spit on Your Grave, The Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the Left, I physically can't do it. You know what I mean? Like I can understand it as, someone that maybe has been a victim or something, that how they can get a gratification out of watching that revenge
Kind
part
of
of it.
catharsis.
Yeah.
Right. But I can't. I know that I talk bad about those movies a lot, and I don't want people to think that I think you're weird or you're evil or whatever. If you like those movies, that's not it. That's just a trigger for me. Sometimes people's triggers are animal cruelty. I can watch that shit. That doesn't bother me. I can watch an animal being killed on screen. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. Sometimes
Michael eating all the dogs.
Yeah, sometimes it's kids being killed. Fucking bring me more. Give it to me. Let me see those kids die. I don't give a fuck. Don't rape anybody. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. That's my trigger. So maybe I'm fucked up because, in my opinion, in Pet Sematary, when you got the dad running after the kid, I think he's chasing him to the road. Get in the road, you little son of a bitch. There's a semi coming. One less bill I got to pay. But in seriousness, that's why I think we're all different. We all have our triggers. And for me, it's just, that's my trigger and I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But for people that watch them and enjoy them, I'm happy you do. If someone's out there making art, I hope that people like it. Yeah, it did. Because you were home, baby.
Because you were home.
That's the only
Scary.
reason. Like, that is so scary.
A Quiet Place. One of the most heartbreaking endings I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We would be dead in like 1 second.
Oh, we'd be Chloe.
With Chloe, she'd be like, "What would you do if?" I'd be like, "Shut up," and then she'd be like,
I'm trying not to die here.
Mom.
Yeah.
And then the monster, we would be done.
Yeah, we'd be done. All right, so we are up to number 6, and that will be you starting us off, my love.
All right, my number 6 is The Conjuring. This movie really did scare the shit out of me. It doesn't have a lot of gore, and I do like the gore. But like the creepy imagery and just like knowing that it's based on true events and that house is real, like that really scared me and stuck with me. Like I got really scared. Yeah, watching that movie.
No, the part where look what she made me do.
Yeah, like
one of the best jump scares of all time.
Yeah, and the jump scares are good too. Like they're
yes.
I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, the jump scares are good.
Yeah. And then like you even have like just the regular scares, like when Lorraine is out by the lake and she turns around and she's talking to Ed.
And like the
and then
hanging,
you see the feet.
like that's what I'm talking about. Like that kind of stuff like sticks with you. Like that creepy imagery. Like
such a great scene. Because it's not a jump scare. It's just a genuine rock you to your core scare. Great choice.
Thank you.
How about you, Dice? What's your number 6?
The Exorcist 3.
Oh,
okay.
Just aside from everything else, of course, that has to be one of the very few movies that legitimately got me with their jump scare, and I know everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to the jump scare. But it's just generally a very uneasy and unsettling movie. Anytime Brad Dourif is on screen, it's very unpredictable. He did very well with that.
Mm-hmm.
His whole scene of him crying in the jail. Oh my gosh. That's fucking acting. What a great scene. One of the most underrated movies of all time. Hands down.
I agree.
And I think it's because The Exorcist 2 is such dog shit.
Like everyone was like, we're done with this. We're not watching this. And nobody.
It can only go downhill.
Yeah. It can only go down. But no, they really did upgrade.
Yes, they really did. How about you, Bobby? What comes in at number 6 for you?
Number 6 for me is The Exorcist 2, The Heretic. I'm joking.
I thought he was his jaw literally just dropped.
Oh my god.
I'm so joking. Number 6
that's the most scared I've been in a long time was when you said that.
Thanks for that. Thanks.
Number 6 is Pet Cemetery. Pet Cemetery, Scared, the original one. Scared the hell out of me. That's another just dark and dreadful film. And it's shot very well. And there's a lot of scenes in there that's pretty creepy. Zelda was a creepy character, and just seeing her, like, those images still haunt my mind. And then also just watching, the little kid get killed and come back and start taking everybody out. That was pretty creepy. But I think it was just the overall film and the atmosphere itself. It was just dreadful. So yeah, that's my 6.
Yeah, Zelda is what nightmares are made of.
For
like
sure.
she
Oh,
scared
yeah.
the shit out of me. That was like my very first like horror movie I ever watched as a child, and I was like, all right, I need more. I need more of that feeling.
Right. Never get out of bed again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
her and Victor.
Victor was it
like
for me.
yeah, he had
Yeah.
he was all fucked up and yeah.
My number 6 is probably my number 6 because I grew up.
It's your number 6.
Yeah, I grew up in an era where you could prank call your friends and say 7 days, and then hang up on them on a landline. So I'm going with The Ring. Now I get you watch this movie today, and it doesn't hold up. I watched it with Kenny about a year ago, and he was like, "This is stupid." I'm like, "Listen, you little bastard, you didn't grow up with a VCR, okay? This is scary."
He's like desensitized.
Yeah,
to this
he
shit.
totally is. But yeah, that first time you watch it, and you're in the movie theater, and I saw her face, and then you get the face in the closet falling. Like, it's just, it's one of those movies that it really genuinely scared me to my core when it came out. The anxiety of everything that's happening, the horse jumping over on the boat,
and them running and seeing, and then like the horse comes out and all the blood. Yeah.
The dad killing himself in the bed. We were supposed to have kids, and electrocuting himself in the bathtub. Man, it was.
She never sleeps.
Yeah, it was good. And then the ending, that twist at the you helped her, Rachel. She never sleeps, and the nosebleed. Oh yeah, such a great fucking movie, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Number 6 for me is The Ring. So
we may talk about that again.
Before we get to our halfway point, let's catch up on the chat. I can't watch I Spit on Your Grave. It's too much. I can't watch them either. Last House on the Left was too far. Yeah, I agree. Because You Were Home, hopefully the new trilogy is good. I'm very excited to see what they do with the Strangers trilogy. The Autopsy of Jane Doe, talking about the dad from The Ring. He was also one of the morticians in the Autopsy of Jane Doe. That fucking song about sunshine and like just the bell on the foot. Great choice.
Yeah.
I'll get back
The
to
Descent. The Frighteners. Dice.
I'm curious, my friend. What was scariest about that for you? I'm curious.
I love that movie. Dice, you turned me on to that movie. I love
You're
it.
welcome.
I saw The Dark and the Wicked. It's okay. Didn't love it. Go Supernatural. Oh, that's why. Okay. I was like, what? I still check my shoes because of arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Like,
if a movie can do that to you and place that little seed in your mind, like, yeah.
Case 39, another really good one. Demon Child. Love it. Love Demon Kids. The Descent could be higher, but yeah, I like the placing. The Strangers, just like Stream, it's something that can actually happen. The one line is the scariest line in the movie because that's because you were home. Final Destination, the film franchise, is the reason why I'm always paranoid when leaving the house and being aware. Who doesn't get scared when they're driving behind a log truck?
Yeah.
Because of that
literally
movie.
Everybody.
Yep. Got his ass, Bobby. You totally did. Totally did. Puppet Masters from 94. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I was in shock. The Conjuring.
You pause
the
at this
scares.
moment.
Yeah, I know. Like, it was at this moment Ken knew. Yeah. The Conjuring's a great film, man. Yeah, that was Kenny. When we were watching The Ring, he was like, this movie sucks. I was like, you're grounded for being desensitized. All right, so we're at number 5, and that will be you starting us off, Dice.
Well, Bobby just mentioned this. Pet Cemetery, 1989. I didn't see this one when I was a kid, but even so, it was quite unsettling for all the reasons that Bobby already mentioned. But it was one of the first and one of the few thus far horror movies that I watched that severely unsettled me. But at the same time, I quite liked it. the kind of funny thing is, I was familiar with the song by the Ramones way before I watched the movie. I
Mhm.
just associate that with Halloween and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But it just the song alone created a very vivid image, mental image that didn't match the movie, but that's all right. The movie had its own thing, and it's quite unsettling for a number of different reasons. The ending, of course, is always a standout. The man has lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah,
Now he's gonna drag the rest of us down with him.
right. I do want to say that Pet Cemetery is the best original song written for a movie, followed closely by Ninja Rap from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Go ninja, go ninja.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
You're gonna pull something. Oh no!
Yeah.
I fucking love that shit. We just listened to that a couple weeks ago. I don't know why, but I was driving down the road and I was just like, go ninja, go. I was like, oh, we're listening to it. I need to find this right now. No, I started doing that dance in the car now. She was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, Ninja Rap. She was like, what? And I was like, oh, yeah, 'cause it was,
I know what it is.
you do now.
You just had it on your playlist. Like that's something you listen to all the time.
I mean, we're like, go ninja, go
I know.
ninja, go.
You totally do. Don't act like it's a joke.
That's awesome.
If I was randomly if I was riding the car and that randomly came on, I would have just went off.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yes.
for sure. I'll say anybody could act like they would it. You all know you love Ninja Rap.
Of course.
So how about you, Bobby? What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Candyman. Candyman. Everything you said, Ken. Tony Todd, amazing. That scene specifically in the bathroom stall, like you said,
Yeah.
got me out of here as well. It's just something about Tony Todd and the music, and just again, I'm a big. I look at atmosphere in all the horror movies, and that has a very dark atmosphere for me, and it fits so perfectly well with the Candyman film. So I love that movie to death. When I watched that movie recently, it still gives me the creeps as well.
Yes.
And I just love Tony Todd. He played that character to a T. He did such an amazing job, and it's gonna be very hard to go above that.
It really looks like they wrote that character with Tony in mind.
Oh yeah,
That's how well he plays the role.
mm-hmm.
So,
And then growing up as a kid, so you had those Bloody Mary stories, and Candyman, you say it 5 times or 4 times in the mirror. There's always that fear in you, no matter how old you get. I still won't say Candyman in the mirror, and I'm 34, so not happening.
Ashley said Dead Silence was on her list, and I laughed at her because it was so low.
I know it's on your
I
knew it.
Damn,
I
warning.
knew
Right.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
I'm telling you, right? But hey, I'm just saying. I made fun of Ashley, so you guys wouldn't think it was on my list.
That's a twist. That's very twisty.
You didn't have me fooled for even
I know.
1 second.
She's right. We watched this movie. We were house sitting for my father, and it scared the shit out of us. Like the atmosphere of this movie, and it's funny because people hear about Dead Silence. They're like, oh, it's the movie with the ventriloquist puppets, and the ventriloquist puppets have very little to do with the actual film. It's not like they're just a bunch of puppets running around killing people. That's not at all what the film's about. And the twist genuinely got us both. We were both like, wow, that was very good. And then it is very Saw-ish how it goes back and it plays the orchestral music and you see all the flashbacks of what led up to that moment. But it was effective for me. I thought it worked. I thought the whole movie overall had a very, very intelligent way of being scary on a movie that had no business being that scary. When you hear the premise of the movie, you're like, yeah, I watched this on Goosebumps. It was called Night of the Dummy. What the fuck are you talking about?
It looks like that.
Yeah, it looks like Slappy.
It does look like Slappy,
But
which is funny.
The way that they played the movie was very, very good. It was very scary, and I genuinely love the movie. That was one of our very first Didn't See That Coming episodes that we did. That's how much this movie means to both of us still to this day.
Mhm.
So number 5 for me, I am going to go with Dead Silence.
I knew it. My number 5 is When a Stranger Calls. Movies like that.
That's awesome. That's a
like,
very good call.
That's like him constantly calling, and then like you find out that he's actually in the house and that he's killed the kids. It scares me to my core. Like I used to babysit, and
Have you
like that.
checked the
That's one
children?
of the things that would freak me out. Like, yeah, have you checked the children? And she never checks on the damn children.
Never.
Like she doesn't. Like, what the hell? Go check on those fucking kids.
Have you checked the kids?
Babysitter ever.
No, I'm here for a paycheck, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know what
like-
the fuck you're talking about. I just want the money.
Fuck them kids. Like, yeah, pretty much.
Literally.
But like when
Exactly
you
what she
find out,
said.
pretty much, when you find out that she isn't, when he is in the house like that, it just rocks me. So
Yeah.
that's my number 5.
Yeah. How you feel about the remake?
I don't remember the remake.
Okay. I think
I know
that
that we watched it though, but yeah, so it's not that memorable. Clearly,
Right.
I don't remember much about it at all.
yeah.
I would have to watch it again. I wouldn't mind giving it a rewatch. I just want to see a cut of the movie where it's like ring, 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 ring. Hello. Have you checked the kids? No. Credits.
That's it.
That movie would have ended way earlier on because number 1, I don't babysit, but 2, I don't pick up on calls unless I know who's calling.
Right.
Right.
Thank
Right to
yeah.
voicemail.
Yeah,
Right
the
to
text
voicemail.
will
If
suffice.
you're not gonna text, then we ain't talking.
Have you checked?
He's texting. Have you checked the kids? And he misspells kids.
Have you
Yeah.
checked the children? New phone. Who dis?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's catch up on the chat real quick before we get into our number 4s. Justin Ryan 1988 is here. Dude,
Hi, Justin.
please call me
Justin.
tomorrow so we can set up. I have a perfect idea for us for a stream next year. We've been wanting to do a top 10 favorite non-horror movies, and Justin, I would love to have you on for that because we talk about horror a lot. I would love for people to know how much I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Back to
I was
the
gonna
Future
say
too.
that Pee-wee's Big Adventure better be on there.
Oh, you know it will be.
The Notebook.
Oh, the
Okay. Yeah, the Notebook will be on there. That no cap. I love the Notebook.
He does.
I do. The Reaper was Scary and the Frighteners.
Yeah.
Hereditary, number 5. I remember 02 people in high school hated The Ring. They wanted the dark jump scare movie, but it was more of a miss. It was just haunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her hair
Yes.
over and they're crawling out of the TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good. And it looked good.
It did. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hello, Nathan, Ken, Ashley, and Guest. Ken, I miss you too, buddy. You need to call me tomorrow, please. Oh, here it is, Shaim. When a Stranger Calls 06. I thought it was done brilliantly, better and more horrifying than the original.
Really?
Oh.
If Shaim likes it that much, we gotta get it.
I feel like we've seen it though.
I know we've
don't
seen it.
remember
Yeah.
anything about it.
We'll watch it again, Shaim,
He's-
especially if you
I'm
you think
assuming
that highly.
she's babysitting and a stranger calls and asks if she checked the child. Like,
Yeah.
I'm assuming
I think in that version she don't check the children either.
these damn babysitters.
Right. Candyman. The Exorcist. Yes. A dark song. So dark and isolated, but with an uplifting ending. I don't think I've seen a dark song.
Mm-mm.
I've heard of it.
Now check it out. Pennywise scared me as a child. One that made me hate clowns.
Yeah.
The Dark and the Wicked scares me. Truly terrifying. I don't even think that made my list.
Okay.
I still got to
sensing a
rewatch that.
disturbance.
Listen, everybody knows it's on my list. Okay, The Dark and the Wicked is on my list. I will say that much. Yeah, please rewatch Dead Silence, Nathan, and let me know. Prince of Darkness, the hand coming out of the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was using Ken's slogan. Fuck them kids.
For real.
Listen, if you don't say fuck them kids at least once a day, you're not a parent. I'm just throwing that out there. When
If-
someone
if
says
you
fuck
have-
them kids, I feel it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
when people get all like, "Oh my god, why would you say that? Have you spent time with my kids?" Like, no. Yeah.
I feel you. I'm like that meme where the girl's like,
We really,
She's crying,
we really
like,
do
that's
love.
me.
We really, really do love our children.
"Ah, yeah, we do."
Yeah, we do.
You know what? And when a Stranger Calls, the first 20 minutes is its own short film. It really is. So that's actually what I love about the movie. We're getting a lot of love for the 06 remake.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have to watch this again. Wait Until Dark. It stars Aubrey Hepburn. Why won't you click, you son of a bitch?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah. Yes.
I like fucking with numbers. I don't know, so I answered random. Oh, nice. Yes, awesome. Yes, let's do it. I wouldn't even get a call because my phone is on Do Not Disturb 24/7.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind
Yes. Yes.
So every week, hi.
That's awesome. Yes, that's so great. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, one of the best endings of all time. The Dark and the Wicked is Ken's number 2, just to mess with us. Maybe. I thought the original When a Stranger Calls was intense and scary.
Me too.
When a Stranger Calls Back, I've never seen that one.
Hmm.
I didn't even know that existed.
That's with Carol Kane
That's
as
great.
well, isn't it?
I must not be a real horror fan.
Oh.
We'll check it out for sure. I love watching new horror movies I've never heard about, so we'll do it. But for now, let's get to Bobby's number 4.
Okay.
All right. So my number 4 is Insidious. Insidious. I remember watching this the first time. I never went to the theaters to see it, but I remember watching it on my laptop. I bought it off of iTunes and I had my headphones on, and that was the worst thing I could have done watching this late at night. I literally slammed my laptop shut on the part where when the mom is talking and telling the story, and then we look at Patrick Wilson's character and you see the lipstick demon right behind him. I was like, I'm not watching this. I'll continue this movie tomorrow morning. And that's
Good
exactly what I
crossover
did.
with the Star Wars with Darth Maul, though.
Yeah. And just even the score in there, it's like the strings and just like the music in there, just so fucking creepy. It does get a little goofy at the end, but it's still a very effective movie. And I think James Wan did such an excellent thing with that film. Now the other ones I don't really care for. I always just watch the first one. The other ones I'm just like, I can do without.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, part 2 is okay, and 3, when you start getting Lynch doing karate, chopping the fucking ghosts and stuff, that's why I'm just like, all right, no, I'm good. I'm good.
I think that of the 4 movies, I think the second one is my favorite of the bunch.
Okay.
But I respect you for having Insidious at number 4. Like,
Okay.
I respect that choice. So much so that my number 4.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. That moment, and what I love about that moment is it's something that I want to go back to somebody that's influenced my life in so many different ways. And that's Tom Savini. And what Tom Savini does is he calls this a magician scare, where a magician is, look what I'm doing over here, and the magic is happening over here.
Yeah.
And that's what happens at this moment in Insidious, because you think the scare is when you see the demon in the room and he's pointing over at Dalton.
You think it's over.
You think that's where the scare is. Little do you know that 2 seconds later, bam, it's right there. And that's one of the best scares of all time. And then they took a beautiful song, like Toe Through the Tulips.
It makes
That
it
is
creepy as well.
Through the window.
All right.
No one
So
knows
That was creepy already.
No.
What do you mean?
That was all right. So a lot of people was just like, why are you so scared? I'm really also scared of that part where they move into the new house and she's doing her laundry and the record scratch and they playing that. You just see the little boy just dancing to that. That's something that's so small but creepy.
Yes.
I'm just like,
Oh, time to get out of the house, bitch. Come on, let's go.
I'm rolling out.
That's what I love about Insidious. Like, they're like, the house might be haunted. All right, we're fucking leaving.
Yeah.
They're smart. Like, they don't stick around. It's not your typical horror movie where it's like, it'll be okay. Our son's in a coma. We don't know what's wrong. We're moving. We're getting the fuck out of here. We're gonna do what's best for our kid. And then there's so many scenes, like when the guy is in Specs, Tucker. When Tucker's in the hallway and he's got that clicky thing, and then he clicks, and the 2 girls are there. They do that smile. Yeah, that
at the
was
same time,
man. So I love the first 2 Insidious movies. One of my favorite scene of any movie ever is in the second Insidious movie when he's got the dice and he's talking to him, and he's like, "Why don't you ask your dice what I have behind my back?" And he's like, "What does Parker Crane have behind his back. And then, you know, his face just changes. Josh Lambert's face just goes to that meat, and he drops the dice and it says knife. Like, oh, that scene is so great. What an amazing scene. But,
Patrick Wilson does such a phenomenal job by like switching.
Yes.
He does such a phenomenal job.
He nailed it in that movie. But I just don't. I think that may be the better made movie. But the first Insidious scared me to the point where I was like, wow, fuck this. This movie is fucking scary, man. Yeah. So I agree with you, my friend. I have Insidious at number 4.
Oh,
so funny enough.
No way.
I swear to God, my number 4 is Insidious.
Oh my God, it is.
You all got Insidious? Number 4? Hey.
Number 4 is Insidious.
I didn't get the memo. I feel very left out.
Dice is gonna be like, my number 4 is The Exorcist 2, The Heretic.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Don't drag me into that.
we already did that scare, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys pretty much nailed it. The jump scares are brilliant. They really do get you. And like we're talking about the one where he's behind Josh. Yeah, that scared the shit out of me. But yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot more to say about it.
It's a fantastic movie, and I'm very excited for the new chapter that we have coming out this year. They just recently changed the title. It was The Dark Realm. They just changed it to something else. But I'm very excited for the new Insidious movie coming out next year.
Yeah. Me too.
So how about you, Dice? You want to tell us about your number 4 Insidious?
Yes, Insidious 4. No. I actually have something that's already been mentioned, I think, but a few different people. It comes with a background, a little history, a story, if you will. Jaws. Some of you may be familiar with what I'm about to say, but I didn't see the movie for it to scare the hell out of me. So when I was 4 years old, my family and I went to Universal Studios in California. We went on the tram tour, and I had absolutely no knowledge of what Jaws was prior, but certainly did once we left. Because at the point where it gets to, Amity Island, I'm curious because I see the boat or a scuba diver or whatever go down, bubbles, all that shit. I'm like, well, what happened here? I lean over to see what's going on. And that's the point where Jaws comes up. So I was quite scarred by that. And then it took me a few decades to actually watch the movie, because every time I would see a picture of a great white, it was like getting a jump scare. But when I finally watched the movie, it still jump scared me, but simply because of the head in the boat that comes out. So that's another one that actually got me.
What an amazing jump scare that moment is. That's one of those ones that as you're watching it, that wasn't in the original cut of the film.
No, they filmed it in the pool, wasn't it?
They filmed it in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
The first test audience said that it was scary, but it needed something. And that's Steven Spielberg's level of commitment. He was like, you know what? We're going to film something in my swimming pool. I got this great idea. And that's what they did. That's why he is who he is, because he's a fucking genius, man. Well, that's everybody's number 4s. So let's catch up on the chat real quick before we move on. When a Stranger Calls Back is on Prime Video.
Okay.
We have that. So we will be watching that. Wait Until Dark is a good one. The Conjuring. The Shining. Very good. And there's the hide and clap right there. Sleepaway Camp. Great choice. Meth Mall. My number 4 would be the It miniseries. I love the 17 remake. You know what? I actually like 2019 more than 2017. I'm one of the only ones that likes that.
I don't mind that one. I don't.
Yeah, everyone I talk to hates 2019. I'm like, man, Bill Hader made that movie, and I adore that movie because of Bill Hader. I love Anaconda. I love Ice Cube in that movie. I love J-Lo in that movie. I love Anaconda.
Yeah, I like Anaconda too.
What's his name? The villain. He's so good in that movie.
The snake?
Fuck, not the snake.
The other one. The one on 2 legs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. He's like a huge actor. John Voight.
Ah.
John Voight is so scary in that movie. Jeepers Creepers. I haven't seen that movie in so long. I don't remember the
I just
opening.
remember his eyeballs
Yeah.
being gone.
That's all I remember.
Jeepers
Silence.
Creepers, where'd you get your peepers?
Absolutely off-putting all the way through. Which movie are we talking about? Russell, what did you bring up? Oh, Sleepaway Camp. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Another one with the bees. The bees fucked me up in the bathroom stall.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. I love Insidious Chapter 2 so much. Yes, I love that. How the boy, I don't know if you noticed that, Bobby, but when she's first doing the laundry and she walks by the room.
Oh, yeah, he's in the corner.
Yeah, he's standing in the corner in that first scene. It's so good. We're all going to the World's Fair is creepy. Yes.
I've heard good things.
I had to watch that for my first horror movie episode. And somebody wanted me to educate myself on that movie after that wasn't their first horror movie, but it was their favorite horror movie, so I had to watch it. Fear of the Dark is the new title, Ken. That's it. Insidious, Fear of the Dark. It's not the Dark Realm anymore. It's Insidious, Fear of the Dark. Thank you, Nathan. Yes. Exorcist 2. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. We're all going to the World's Fair. It's a very creepy movie. Fire in the Sky. Yes. And a lot of people don't even consider that a horror movie. Total horror movie, man. An alien abduction film. So good. That is one that I had to watch for my first horror movie because it was their first horror movie. And I was like, wow, I'm really bummed I missed out on this. Anaconda's a gem. Hey. Yes. Good choice. Nice to see you guys. I'm so glad you guys made it out. We miss you. Keep up those Insidious scenes. Well, I'm sorry. All right, so we are up to
that was your choice, man. I'm sorry.
Right.
Mike.
This movie I have at number 3. I have it at number 3 because at 2 different points in my life, it scared me for 2 different reasons. And the scariest scene to me in this movie is a scene that never, ever gets talked about.
Oh.
As a child watching The Exorcist, I was scared because it's a demon, and I'm like, you know what? Fucking burn the house down. Who gives a shit? No one cares. Fuck that demon. Fuck that girl. I don't care. But now I'm an adult that has 2 daughters.
And he's thinking the same thing, right?
Yeah. Burn it down faster. I see this, and I know that my little girl is still in there somewhere. And I can't help her. And she's begging me to help her. And that helplessness I feel as a father watching this movie breaks me into pieces. And it's such a well orchestrated movie. It's so well done. It's a very slow burn. Obviously, The Exorcist is a very slow burn. I'm cautiously optimistic about what David Gordon Green can do with it. I hope we don't get a fucking Corey Cunningham and his Exorcist 3.
Corey's gonna appear in this one too.
Yeah.
Crossover.
But I mean, hopefully he learned what not to do from his Halloween reboots. Halloween 2018 was amazing. Halloween Kills was good, and Halloween Ends exists. But I'm cautiously optimistic for what he can do with The Exorcist. And if you can keep that fear of loss and fear of helplessness a part of it, I think that it can be a big success. So I really like The Exorcist. I still to this day think it's the scariest film that's ever been made. But there are 2 other movies, obviously, that personally scared me a little bit more. So coming in number 3, because of the timelines of my life and how much it scared me on each end of the spectrum, I'm going with The Exorcist.
My number 3 is Dark and the Wicked.
What is it?
Shut up.
Never heard of it.
Don't act like that. Just the feeling of dreadfulness and like the guilt that you feel throughout this movie is, and like so much of like the scenes where she's levitating outside the window, and you get that where I don't want to spoil it for people, but when he goes home and everybody
don't spoil that.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
If you know.
But if you know.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know, like you just feel dread when you watch it. And like the scene where she's talking to the priest and you realize that he never was even there, that freaked me out too. So yeah, that one really rocked me. And I watched it as an adult. So not a lot of horror movies do that nowadays. Like it, you know, they did when I was a kid, but that one really did.
Yeah.
So
It what a great movie. What a great movie. I wish I would have put it on my list. So Dice, what's your number 3?
Okay.
The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Okay.
Kind of piggybacking on what Ashley just said, there's very few horror movies now that can actually scare me. Typically, I'm more fascinated with the characters, the story, whatever. But this one I watched because of Freaky Girls Live. This was part of their double feature at one point. And I bought this as a blind buy. One of the few times that I blind buy something because of what I've been hearing. And then I finally watched it. And it's really interesting because it's more of a mystery thriller. You think something's going to happen with this corpse. The corpse is going to pop up. The corpse is going to... No.
Yeah.
No. And like you had said before, Ken, the bell. That's the point where I went, oh, fuck this. Dark, stormy night outside. Perfect time to watch it. Great.
Yeah.
And I already knew the backstory of why they would put the bell on the toe or above ground, you know, tie a string, whatever, in case they were still alive. So to already see this clearly dead person, former human, if you will, and hear the bell, up.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm good. I'm done. Thank you.
And can we talk real quick about the fact that there was never a dummy used in that movie? That was always a live actress. That was her doing every single scene. They never once used a dummy or a doll through any of it. It was always her.
That's a whole different kind of acting right there.
Yeah. She's laying there titty out the whole time. Like that's
Titties.
yeah. That was only
no
one.
blinking.
Plural.
No blinking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. I love that movie. That's another. We watched it blind, and it was when it first came out. We were just like we were bored, and we threw it on, and we were halfway through the movie. We put it on because what's the kid's name in it? Emil Hirsch. Is that?
I don't know.
I think that's his name.
I'm bad with names.
I know, me too. I think that's what his name is. Yes, Emil Hirsch. And then obviously Brian Cox. He's great. But we seen Emil Hirsch was in it, and we had just come off of like Alpha Dog and stuff.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we like this guy. Let's check it out, and we did not regret it. So
I also have to give props with the fact of the story. Never once did I get a clear like, oh, this is what's going to happen. Never once.
Right.
So.
Or why?
Yeah,
I love that. I love the ambiguity, however you say that word. Ambiguity. There you go.
Yeah.
Of the movie. I love it. You don't know why or how or anything. It just happened.
Yeah.
And you don't need to.
Right. And then you get the little toe twitch at the end. You're like, so how about you, Bobby? What's your bronze medal?
Like you, Kim, my number 3 is The Exorcist. I had to put The Exorcist on here. I felt wrong if I don't do it. The Exorcist was one of the movies that scared me to death when I was a little bit younger. It was just a sense of hopelessness. Ellen Burstyn as the mother, Chris, just phenomenal actress. You felt like it was real. That was her actual daughter. Even Linda Blair going through all that craziness, being pulled and yanked back because she had to act like she's possessed and almost messing up her spine and just going through a lot. And then I remember buying this was my first DVD I ever bought, was The Exorcist, the version you never seen before. Because I remember they released it in early 2000 and I wasn't able to go see it. So when they came out on DVD, I bought it and I put it in my PlayStation because you was able to watch DVDs on your PlayStation too, I believe. And I remember just watching the scenes that we never seen before, like the Pazuzu blinking in certain scenes, and when Chris is going to check up on Reagan, and when she's leaving, you see Pazuzu's shadow show up just on the wall. Just it's like a faint picture of him, and then the spider walk down the steps. Like, come on. So that movie overall is dark, is creepy. Just the stuff that they went through and the stuff that they pulled in 1973. I can see why people was fainting and throwing up and all of that at that time. So yeah, Exorcist had to be on this list.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we will catch up on the chat before we get to our number 2. Maybe. All right. David Gordon Green. Yeah, like I said, I'm very excited to see what he does with that.
Mm-hmm.
The Cell, still some of the most nightmarish images, and Vincent D'Onofrio is an all-time great actor. The sequel, I love the sequel more, Anaconda's Hunt for the Blood Orchid. I've never seen that. We'll have to check that out. My number 3, Insidious. Yeah. 3, The Conjuring. Lights Out. That's another really good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
That is a good one.
I really like that movie. Leave Corey alone. The Exorcist is definitely terrifying. The Conjuring 2. Yeah, that nun one is so. You know what? I think one of the scariest scenes in The Conjuring 2 actually is when they're on the train and you realize that he was, help me. He won't let me go. Like that scared me. I was like, oh fuck. Like that they weren't faking it. The demon made them seem like they like that. To me was super super cool.
That was the twist.
Yes. You know what? Hold on. I got something for that.
Uh-oh.
Didn't see it coming, did you?
No, I didn't. Sorry, I had to throw it out there somewhere.
We have them here for a reason.
Right. Halloween Ends is existing. Now I'm seriously like I'm glad that people like it. I really am. Like I would hate to think that somebody made something that nobody liked. Like that really hurts my chest. I wanted to like that movie. Like the first 20 minutes, I'm like, they killed a kid. I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm in. Let's go, man.
Seeing that kid fall and splatter all over the floor, I was just
I'm
like,
in.
"What? Where is this going?" And then
Down the toilet.
It just went.
And then it went to the sewer.
It went somewhere.
Oh.
But
Lights Out, Darkness Fall, and The Grave Dancers. We seen The Grave Dancers on one of those DVDs we had.
what was it called when
it was
you
like the 11 Nights of Horror or whatever.
We would get them.
We'd get little DVDs sent to us in the mail. That's so awesome. We got more
We watched like
Corey
4
here.
DVDs a night. Like that's back when we didn't have responsibilities or
Right.
jobs or anything.
Can't wait for Sledge to explain why Dark and the Wicked is his number 1. And you guys are going to be disappointed. I loved Ends more than 18 and Kills. See, and I'm so appreciative of that. I don't agree.
Good for you, Jeanette. Good for you.
But I appreciate it.
I like Ends more than Kills.
18
I'll
is my
say that,
favorite
yeah.
as well. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Yep, right here. The actress in Jane Doe is a yoga instructor, so she was able to lay still for long periods of time. When I found that out, it made me respect that movie even more.
Yeah.
Because that could not have been easy. You know, you're laying there just naked all day.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want to come be in our movie naked, laying down, not moving or blinking?
Don't
or
breathe.
breathing?
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
blink.
Child's Play 2. Ooh, good choice.
Okay, Mike.
How's
Never
it
knew
hanging,
that.
Phil? Final Destination. Yeah. Yeah. Halloween Ends. What the fuck? No. No.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a
Eat
solid.
shit and die, Ricky. Eat shit and live, Bill.
Son of a bitch. No, I'm just kidding, Ashton. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I was wrong once in the 90s, too. It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Once he says.
That's
In the
it.
90s, he says.
All right, baby. You want to give us your number 2, your silver medal?
Yes. My number 2 is The Blair Witch. The marketing for
The OG?
the OG.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the second one.
No, but the second one, dog shit, but the newest one wasn't bad.
Yeah. No, the newest one was okay. It was pretty good. But no, the OG. I was like 10 and my gold blast believed that this was real. Like this was a real found footage. And it's not like I had Google back then at my fingertips like kids do now to be like, oh, well, and discredit it. So with that, it scared me like, oh my God, this is real. And my mom, she rented it for me. I was 10 and my brother was 8. and like put that on and was like gone. Like, what the
Enjoy,
fuck, Mom?
God,
Yeah. And she's like, and this is a real movie, and this is, this is real. And I was like, what the hell? Like, why did you do this to me? I'm scared. Like, I'm sleeping on your floor.
Love you, Amy.
Yeah. That really it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. So I had to have it in my number 2. Yeah. She's the reason that I like horror so much, because she loved to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. Loved it.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, and she makes fun of me all the time too. My mom's really nice.
I think it's so dope that my mother-in-law watches our shit. Like, that's so fucking cool to me. Like, both our mother-in-laws, like my wife's mom, my mom, Amy, and her wife Nancy, like, they watch our shit, and I think it's like the dopest thing ever. Like, except for when they're making fun of me, I'm like, bye, guys. I just think it's the coolest shit ever when I hear that my mom's like watch our shit. Like, I don't know, it's cool to me. My mom's gone, so Amy and Nancy are my moms now. So like, that to me is just so dope when I find out that they're watching our stuff. I'm like, this is the coolest shit ever. So, Dice, you want to give us your number 2?
Well, since you phrased it like that, I don't know about that. Doctors have asked me to do that already. I don't know about that.
Right.
The weird shit you get asked to do.
I know. The Woman in Black, 2012.
Yes.
It's I wanted to see it because Daniel Radcliffe. I'm a Harry Potter kid. We denounce certain things, but I'm a Harry Potter kid. So when I heard, we're gonna get Daniel Radcliffe in like a proper horror, sign me up. Let me see this. Yeah. And it's properly creepy, scary, isolated.
Yeah.
Wonderful gothic aesthetic.
Yeah. No real cheap jump scares. And just to endorse it more, my brother really likes it. This is the movie he uses as an example of what horror movies he wants me to show him instead of the dreck that I have shown him, apparently. My mom really likes it, and she's very much she's told me many times, if you want to do something horror with me, but make it psychological, don't gross me out, just freak me out. And I'm like, okay. So this is the one that pretty much everybody in my family has liked, and that's hard to do.
Right.
But it's again properly scary. The time where he goes outside when it's raining and all of the dead kids are there.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, good night.
I still think one of the best, because I'm not a huge jump scare guy. I don't think jump scares, I think that they're cheap most of the time. But when he's putting his hand up to that window and then the face is in the window, like, oh man, that scared the shit out.
And the muddy kid coming in. Nope.
Yeah.
And that movie has a crazy ending.
Yeah.
Like, heartbreakingly. And I'm with you. Like, we went to this movie because I like Harry Potter. I thought Harry Potter was a lot of fun. And I left the theater like, man, that kid's got some chops. And now he's fucking Weird Al, man. Like, how dope is that? Daniel Radcliffe playing Weird Al. Like, that's the coolest shit ever. So
listen, he hasn't shied away from anything.
Right. I dig it. I love that choice. Great choice.
That's a good one.
How about you, Bobby?
I have Hell House LLC for my number 2.
Nice.
I recently rewatched the movie to cover on the podcast, and it still scared the hell out of me, man. It's one of the best found footage films to me. I mean, you have like Blair Witch and you got like Paranormal Activity and stuff, but this is like top 5 for me. It was just done so well, filmed so well, and then like that ending. Just seeing everybody just running for their lives in this, damn haunted attraction and not knowing what's going on. It just was creepy. That clown, you got the guy, looking at the camera in the basement, and then he turned back around. The clown was looking at him, but before it was looking straight, So it's just like little things like that. That movie is just so creepy. And I always suggested to watch during Halloween because it's perfect for that time. And watch it late at night as well.
Alone in the dark.
In the dark. Loud
by yourself.
By yourself. Nobody there.
Isolated completely.
So my number 2 has been talked about. spooky face.
The goal.
The jump
Um,
scares. Oh,
Yeah, like the best jump scare of all time, the lawnmower.
Yeah.
I've talked about, obviously, I think Insidious has a great jump scare. I think The Woman in Black has a great jump scare. The Exorcist 3, Jaws, Friday the 13th has a great jump scare. To me, none of them equal up to what the lawnmower did in Sinister. Like that was it was so good. Perfectly timed, perfectly placed. Even Ethan Hawke's reaction, like everything built up around that, I thought was so good. And then the twist of what happens at the end, and then learning like when the people in the film, when they're doing the poolside one, are tied to the lounge chairs and pulled into the pool, that was real. They were really tied to the lawn chairs, and the guy that played Bagul was on weighted shoes, and they had to keep bringing him oxygen down under there, and he stayed under the water. Like that's all practical. Wow. That's all real. And that enhances the fear to me when I see things like that. And that's why I will never stop buying physical media, because I love learning these things. I love watching commentary. I love watching behind the scenes. I love watching how they create these things. Exactly, Dice.
Yeah.
I love learning how they create these things and make them look so good. And when you find out that it's because an actor was willing to stay underwater for hours on end, being fed oxygen in between takes, like that's commitment, and it makes it even scarier. I couldn't imagine going to a set and then being like, okay, we're going to tie you to a pool chair. Hear me out. And we're going to pull you into the pool. What?
Yeah.
You're gonna what now?
Hold on.
I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Yeah.
What happened to all this CGI stuff I've been hearing about?
I just feel like it would. I don't know. I feel like my anxiety would allow me to do that. Like I think I would freak out and be like, okay, I'm done.
Hey, gonna need some Valium before this take, boys. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then just like,
do I get a stunt double for this?
Right. I get a stunt double, right?
Yeah, right now.
Right.
It's just, to me, I just think that movie it came out at a time where it was bound to be overlooked, with The Conjuring and Insidious, and it landed for me. Like Sinister really landed for me. It scared the hell out of me.
Excuse me.
And I still enjoy that movie. I love watching that movie. So yeah, for me, I'm gonna stick with Sinister at number 2. So before we get to our number 1, let's catch up on the chat.
Everybody talking about their houses. Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Annabelle Creation.
Woo, that was a good one.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Tina and the Body Bag. Nancy.
Be my friend no more. Goodbye.
Right. Yeah. Oh, nice, man. I love that. Clintonville Slasher. His band, they write horror movie songs, and it's totally dope. Like, you guys got to check them out. They're fucking awesome. They're on YouTube as well. The Taking of Deborah Logan, that's another one we watched blind.
Yeah.
The snake part really got me. Halloween 4 is the scariest Halloween, especially if your name is Ted Hollister. I read that. I do like Halloween 4. It's one of my favorites in the franchise, honestly. I think it's top 5 for me easily. There's someone in the back seat.
Yeah.
Love Urban Legend.
Brenda,
that's literally why I check my back seat. Like I'm a third shifter, and like if I am leaving at night, like I literally look at my back seat because it scares me.
Yeah,
because
just gonna check the trunk and
everything.
When Chloe was little, she used to have a Cinderella a car seat. And so it had the face, and I looked in my rearview mirror and I seen Cinderella's face and about ran off the road because it scared the shit out of me.
One of the few times where Disney's been that scary.
I know. Fucking Cinderella.
Right, piece of shit. Yeah, The Strangers, because there's actually people out there like that.
Yes.
Hey Shaim, where'd you get those peepers, buddy? Oh, we got Team Hufflepuff.
All right. Hufflepuffs don't get enough love.
What song were you singing?
Huh?
What song were you singing?
The Jeepers Creepers song.
Oh.
Where'd you get those peepers?
Yep. Inside. We got a Team Slytherin in here. I don't know. I'm like team there's Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin.
Ravenclaw.
What's the fourth? Yeah, I'm Ravenclaw for sure.
I always thought I was a Ravenclaw, but apparently Gryffindor.
Huh. Yeah, you goody two shoes.
I wouldn't say that. Just hard-headed. Hard-headed.
There you go. Really, I could see why, Nathan. Nathan's more of a slasher fan.
Okay.
Nathan's
It's
one of the
all
biggest
about
slasher
taste.
fans I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love it. The Descent, just the thought of being stuck in the cave with those creatures. Oh yeah, I
recommend it.
enjoy The Woman in Black.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we got another Ravenclaw. That's me. This is just the least well known in my opinion. Weird Al was amazing, and Daniel Radcliffe is an amazing actor. Yes, I completely agree. Completely agree. Hell House LLC is a good movie. Got ruined by the ending. What do you think about that, Bobby?
I disagree, but sure.
Insidious, the scariest horror film. They're very nice. Good choice. 3 of us had it at number 4. Hey Tatum, how you doing? It's okay to be late. We're just glad you're here. That's your wife's account. Okay. We're just glad you're here.
Hijacked your wife.
Car has my wife's car has an alert that says check your back seat. That's awesome.
To install it.
Right.
Right.
All right, guys. So we are up to number 1. So Dice, before you give us your number 1, if you wouldn't mind, could you go from your honorable mentions all the way to number 1 for the people that came in a little late?
Sure. Honorable mentions for me were, of course, my first horror movie ever, Gremlins, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Don't judge me. One Dark Night, The Blair Witch Project, the original, of course. The Witch, or perhaps for some, The Witch. An American Werewolf in London, The Exorcist 3, Pet Sematary 1989, Jaws, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and The Woman in Black 2012. Those are all mine. Not an Insidious in sight, I'm afraid. So sorry.
Right.
Again, I missed the memo.
What, you still have your number 1?
Yes. My number 1. This is one that's actually fairly recent. And that would be Host from 2020.
Nice.
Yes.
I watched that one having it's quite a few years ago seen Unfriended, so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But this was rather impressive to me because it feels, well, first of all, just this alone, being on this
Right.
and being used to this, and then watching a movie where that's the whole setting brought another level to things. And I think it did for a lot of people going through the pandemic because that's how you saw people.
Right.
Zoom.
Right.
So yeah, you have that as a nice little base, and then you're gonna bring demons into it.
Yeah.
That's fun. It all seemed very realistic because again, this is a perspective that I'm used to. I'm sure everybody else here is used to it. Just a portion that really I think got to me was when you were moving around, when you got people moving around, like picking you up and taking you with them, because there was no way to avoid it then. You can't just sit back and watch from a distance. It's you're in there, you're with them right now, so you're gonna see feet hanging in the attic. I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, how about the fact that there's no filler in that movie?
That's it.
That movie, it's what, 58 minutes long?
It's like rather short.
Yeah,
It's
and
rather
like
short.
it's one of those things where it's like you're in it. You're in that movie from start to finish. You're just getting your ass kicked the whole time. And it's I had Host on my list. Honestly, I hate to admit it.
Same.
I took it off the list to put on The Harbinger. Like, I know. I probably should but that's what I did.
You're gonna fly back now.
I know.
The demon's gonna get you.
I know. But
Demon
just don't
gonna come
lie
through
about
any
the
I
minute.
don't like that.
right. So yeah, I respect the choice. I love the movie. I think it's great. So I love that choice.
We don't talk about his follow-up film though. We'll just talk about Host. Thank you.
Yeah. Fucking what was that? Dash Cam.
Yeah, Dashcam. Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I heard a lot of negative things about it.
I'll mention that
Waste my
again
time.
next live stream.
I figured, Dice. I figured you would. So Bobby, you want to give us your honorable mentions down to number 1?
Sure thing, sure thing. All right, so my honorable mentions, I had two. I had Poltergeist and The Grudge. And then for number 10, I had It, 1990, 30 Days of Night. For my number 9, number 8, Get Out. Number 7, The Strangers. Number 6, Pet Cemetery. Number 5, Candyman. Number 4, Insidious. Number 3, The Exorcist. And number 2, Hell House LLC. And my number 1 will be Hereditary. Hereditary. I rewatched it again. I showed my partner this movie, and his mouth was even on the floor. I watched his reaction as poor what's her name? Hit the pole.
Charlie?
Yeah.
And that was Charlie, yeah. And literally my partner's mouth was just open, literally from that part to the whole, like, after, Tony Collette film. It was just but that movie overall is dark. It's also disturbing. It has a lot of mystery to it, and the performances in it is just excellent. And I remember my first time watching, I wasn't expecting to get all those things in that movie. And like you mentioned earlier too, Ken, the whole classroom scene where his head was banging on the desk, and he got his hand up and his eyes all weird. It just so creepy.
When he looks at his reflection.
Yeah.
Like when he's in the classroom and he looks over in the glass and his reflection is smiling back at him before he starts beating his own ass.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. There's so many scenes, like even the scene where Tony's in the corner in the dark, when in the bedroom, and then she's in the attic and she got the piano string or whatever, and she's just like sawing her own head
that
off.
Sound.
Just yes, it does so much in this movie. And if you guys haven't seen Hereditary in the comments, please check the movie out. But it's my number 1 for me. It still freaks me out.
Great choice. It was on my list. So, baby, do you want to give us your honorable mentions all the way to number 1?
Sure. My honorable mentions were Halloween 1978, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 10 was The Exorcist. 9, Dead Silence. 8 is Sinister. 7 is 1408. 6, Conjuring. 5, When a Stranger Calls. 4, Insidious. 3, Dark and the Wicked. 2, The Blair Witch Project, and my number 1 is The Ring. Yes, her face, her evil face. The first time I watched it, I went to theaters with my family. I was probably 12, and it really scared me. Like, I literally slept on my dad's floor that night because it scared me so badly. Just the whole, like, her crawling out of the TV, and you get in the phone calls, you have 7 days, and the impending doom that you feel, and you think that she's just misunderstood and was treated poorly, and they're trying to help her, but really she's just evil. Like, yeah, that really impacted me as a child. And I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time, so it might not be the same, but yeah, it scared me when I was a kid for sure. So, and that when somebody asks me, like, usually that's the first thing that I think of is The Ring. Like that. Yeah.
Very fair.
Yeah.
When she came out, TV at the end was just
yes, and you see her face.
And the way it was shot. Yes. The way it was shot was just so creepy. I loved it.
It was, yeah.
Cindy, the TV's leaking.
Yeah. I know. It's funny.
That's all I think of now. People can talk shit on the scary movies all they want, man, but that fucking Cindy, the TV's leaking. And then she starts beating her ass when she comes out of the TV. It's just so funny, man.
And for a moment, she represented a soul. Bless.
Right. So, all right, guys. So my honorable mentions were both from 2022, Smile and The Harbinger. My number 10 was Candyman. Number 9 was Get Out. Number 8 was Hereditary. Number 7 was The Descent. Number 6 was The Ring. Number 5 was Dead Silence. Number 4 was Insidious. Number 3 was The Exorcist. Number 2 was Sinister. And shockingly, my number 1 The Dark and the Wicked. This movie scared the fucking piss out of me. I watched this movie with Ashley at like 2:00 in the afternoon, bright sunshine, and I was like, we can open the blinds a little bit.
I was gonna say it wasn't really bright. We're like vampires.
Oh my gosh. Like I was so scared of this movie. I think that there's so much that goes into this movie that every time we watch it, I notice something different. Like you actually see the demon at the beginning of the movie in with all the goats in when they're wrangling up. It's there. It's right there in front of you, and you never notice it.
I totally seen that first watch.
I didn't at all. Not even close. And like I said, that scene I just showed with the mom floating and
she's cutting the carrots.
Yeah, the carrot cutting scene. The shower scene is another really powerful scene.
Anything
ending
in the shower is just you just feel.
This is why we have such hygiene problems.
Yes.
That's why.
Some of us.
There's so much about this movie that, like, the minute we were done with that movie, I was just like, this may be one of my favorite movies I've ever seen in my life. Like it was that good to me. And the spider scene, the preacher, you think a wolf cares if you believe he's a wolf when you're in the wild? Like that whole speech was just like, oh my God, like it's so brilliant. And, you know, the way that they brought, you know, a lot of Christianity and Catholicism into the movie for people that didn't believe. And the little neighbor girl that comes over looking for her dad. Like there's just, there's so many different elements of this movie that I could watch this movie on repeat over and over. And I'm borderline obsessed with how great The Dark and the Wicked is. And I'm not trying to be that name dropping guy, but Julie Oliver Touchstone, who plays the mother in this film, has become a very good friend of mine. And you know, I talk to her often, and I'm just like, you are a goddess. Like the way that you portrayed evil in this film with the singing, and it's just, if you guys haven't seen The Dark and the Wicked, I could tell you to watch it on Shudder. Buy it. Buy the DVD. Buy the Blu-ray. Own this film. Support these people that made this movie because it's just that damn good, man. It's one of the best original horror films I've seen in a very long time. And it's been on my mind since the day I watched it. That's how much this movie means to me. So, before we let everybody go, we would like to catch up on the chat real quick. Yeah, of course there is. That's why I did. The Interior 2016, not my favorite, but scared on a deep level. Terminally ill guy goes off into the Canadian wilderness and loses his mind, or maybe encounters cosmic forces. I'll check that out for sure. Oh, Hellfest. We liked Hellfest. 13 Ghosts. Now, do you mean 13 Ghosts the OG or the Matthew Lillard remake? I'm assuming the Matthew Lillard remake.
Yeah, remake.
But they're both good. No shark movie tops Jaws. That's fair. Deep Blue Sea is the better shark film, in my opinion. Number one, I Know What You Did Last Summer is just a fun movie. The Hook, Urban Legend, and Kevin Williamson wrote the script. Good choice. Jaws. I can't swim, which makes it worse. Yes, she is so bad. So bad. And what's even worse is she's not acting. That's what makes it even worse. And if you guys haven't, there's Dice's channel for you to sub. Here's Bobby's channel for you to sub. Thank you so much for doing that for us, Tatum. The dinner scene in Hereditary is one of the most uncomfortable scenes because we've all gone through that or witnessed that. What a
That's
great
every
scene.
Thanksgiving. What do you mean?
Yeah, right. All right. I just subscribed. Awesome. I subbed to Bobby and Dice.
Nice.
Get your ass back in that damn well. Yeah, make sure you guys check out. We got a new merch store. All you gotta do is you don't even gotta click the sledgehammerhorror.com. That's going away. All you gotta do is click the links on the bottom of this channel. It'll take you right to our new store. I think you guys will dig it. A lot of cool stuff in there. Yes, it was The First Ring that Ashley was talking about.
The first one. Yep,
there it is. Love Scary Movie. That shit's so good. I know you guys all knew it was going to be The Dark and the Wicked, but like I said, it's about the journey,
so
not the destination.
You're predictable.
What's going to talk about on every fucking stream?
Dan, you're predictable.
Cindy, this bitch is messing up my floor.
Oh no!
Oh man, that's so funny. God, we got to rewatch that. Paranormal Activity. Legit had me scared to go to bed. First time I had sleep paralysis. Oh, that's scary.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have to rewatch The Dark and the Wicked. Yes.
Mhm.
I told you it's me, The Dark and the Wicked. Ken talks about it all the time. Oh, you gotta watch that movie, Louis. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Like, I'm gonna show you guys one more time. Just watch how intense this scene is for being a 12-second clip. Watch this. Don't you guys want to know what happens next? Don't you want to know what happens after that? Oh, it's so good.
Bad things.
If only Noah sucker punched Samara in the ring like Brenda did, that would have been so much funnier. When she goes on the TV, like, just runs away.
I mean, that probably would have been my reflex.
Yeah, for sure. No, don't apologize. Seriously, worse things will happen.
Yeah.
Regina Hall and Anna Faris mentioned how they would love to reunite and film. Oh, that would be so dope. That would be so dope. Oh, dude, it doesn't. I trust me, you will not regret it. That movie's so good. I agree. Yeah, watch Louis be knocking on my door. Ken, you son of a bitch.
Oh.
I believe it was 2020. May have been 2021, but I want to say yes, it was 2020. Yep. It's on Shudder. But like I said, you should just buy it. It's totally worth it. Martyrs, good choice. Very fucked up movie. Dice, never met someone on here from New Mexico.
Yes, freshly maneuvered here. As it were. Colorado native, but we're here in the very north part of New Mexico.
I'm about to put on The Dark and the Wicked. No, you're not a moron. You're an
How
extremely
late is it there, Michael?
Yeah. If you're on the eastern seaboard like us, it's 11 o'clock. So
yeah.
I couldn't imagine my first time watching this movie, watching it in the dark. No fucking way.
Most likely you'll pause and be like, I'll finish this.
Yeah, I'll watch it in the morning.
Or sometime.
Yeah.
When people
I
are
had a feeling
around.
that's exactly what he's gonna do. I had a feeling that's exactly what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's such a good movie, man. I fucking adore that movie. I can't get enough of that movie. So I do want to once again not only thank everybody in the chat for coming and spending your Wednesday night hanging out with all of us, but Dice, Bobby, for you guys to come out and spend your time to hang out with us and talk about horror movies. It's so much fun, you guys. Anytime we get the chance to work with you too. Dice, obviously we'll be working with you again next week. Bobby, you know you have my heart. You're one of my best friends, and anytime I get this chance, it's amazing to have you guys on here. So real quick, Russell, please let us know what you think.
Lots of tweeting.
Yes.
The
So like I said, the rest of this week, on Friday, we have our Didn't See That Coming episode on Krampus coming out. And then Saturday, I just filmed a My First Horror Movie special with the director of one of my favorite holiday movies to come out over the last couple of years, Black Friday, Casey Tebow. So you guys could check that out. We talk a lot about Black Friday and how jealous I am that he got to work with Devin Sawa and I didn't. And so that'll be out on Saturday. And next week we'll be live with Dice and our buddy CP from Willis Greedia.
Talking about some annoying ass people.
Talk about our least
characters.
favorite horror characters.
I'm excited.
So, I will tell you this. I knew right away who my number 1 and number 2 were. It just took me a minute to figure out which one was going to be which.
Yeah.
So
I already have
everybody
my list prepared.
Yeah. There's so many despicable people in the horror world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Everybody
the movies.
Yes.
Me and Mike just released the episode this past week on our annoying horror characters, like our top 5.
Yeah.
So number 1.
I love when like you hate a character and they get killed. It's like, yes, like
it's funny because my number 1 and number 2 are not annoying characters so much as they're
like,
just
pieces of
shit. Like, and they're not. I guess you could consider them villains in their movies, but they're not the big bad in their movies. Like, and that's what they're people that every time they come on the screen, I'm like, I want to punch you in your fucking face because you're such a good actor. and you make me hate
Yep.
you
Mhm.
so much.
I have a mixture of that and people that are just annoying.
Yeah.
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 She has me on there from
I
Home is
do.
Where the Haunt is.
I'm like that. fucking
So again, please, Dice Bobby, hang out for a second so we can talk a little bit longer. Everybody in the chat, thank you for spending your evening with us. Hey, we just got a new member. All right.
awesome.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. So thank you guys. And like I said, you never have to donate money. You never have to be a member. You never have to buy merch. But when you guys do that, it really does help us, and we appreciate it so much. And don't be sorry, Tatum. We just want to say, guys, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. And as always, I'm Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
Keep talking horror,
Stay who you are.
and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.